welcome to Greenland Quilter. I have a guest tonight. Her name is Courtney, and I'm going to turn it over to her, and she's going to tell you who she is and tell you a little bit about her channel and her business. Go ahead, Courtney.
My name is Courtney with Pieces Love and Quilting. I do long arm services and bordering, multiple things if you ask me. I also run a channel as well on multiple social medias.
All right. Okay. Let's say hello to the people that are already in the chat. We have Susan, hello. And hey, Nancy. Hey, Andrea. I did not miss anyone. Hey, June H, how are you? Hello, Sandra K. I thought it's, oh, and hello, Denise. Welcome, welcome. Did I miss anyone?
I see June.
Yeah, I already caught her. Okay. All right. So, Courtney, why don't you tell them what you plan on working on tonight?
I am going to be working on a pattern that I was supposed to finalize on testing, but you know, life gets you to hit the ceiling. And so we're going to work on this pattern called the Naughty, which is from my hobby farm. So I can have it done and put together.
Can you put it closer to the camera where they can see? Oh, there we go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Hello, Frank from Florida. Hey, Lori Cogan, how are you? And okay. All right, so I am going to be working on this block. This block is called the Indian Star, and it's out of those boxes of the Quilt Builder card deck. This is part of the Sew Along with Donna of Handmade with Ying for channel members. So she assigned us this Indian block, and that's the one we're going to work on tonight, and we'll see what happens with it. Okay, let me just fix this other camera. Okay, got that done. All right, so what I'm going to do, I've already got part of it cut. And then I'm going to cut the rest of it, and part of it I'm going to use half square triangle paper because I like using half square triangle paper. And so basically there is 8 half square triangles in this block, and then the rest of it is 2.5 inch square pieces of fabric. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these colors. I'm going to have mellow yellow, turquoise, and purple. All right, all I got to do is figure out how I'm going to do this. Okay, so we need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this fabric. I've already got it cut to the size for the half square triangle paper part, and I'm going to just split it at the fold and just use one side of it because I don't need but I only need 4 half square triangles out of these colors, and then the rest of it is going to be cut down to 2.5 inch blocks. Do you want to show them what you're going to use for fabric colors, Courtney?
All right, so there's only 5 colors in this. So my background color is the black polka dots. And then trying to keep it in color order so you guys know which ones I'm doing. Which I put them in little baggies so that they're not mixed. And then my next color is with purple with flowers. And then I have pink with a little bit of polka dots. And then another pink because I wanted to make sure it was like pink and purple because I'm a purple girl. I have pink with a swirls on it. And then I have another purple with little polka dots on them. And I can't wait to see how it turns out when I'm done.
Sounds like fun. Can't wait to see what the first block looks like. It'll be pretty interesting to see what you have.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So are you ready for Christmas?
I think I can say I've been ready since yesterday.
Oh, that's cool.
She had her last day yesterday, so I was like, I'm ready for sewing days.
So do you do anything, do y'all have a tradition that you have in your family that you do when you have Christmas?
Not really. In the last few years, 11 years ago, we lost my grandfather on the 22nd. And then about 2 years ago, we lost my father-in-law. So our Christmas kind of went from, we do one Christmas on my husband's side of the family and one on mine, to we actually combined together as one family now. And last Christmas, we couldn't do it because my mother-in-law was not doing well in the hospital.
Y'all
What
are
about
lucky. I think y'all are lucky having living parents. I wish I had living parents. Although my family kind of was split anyway, so I don't know. It might not matter. Anyway, what I want to see in the channel is if you have in your family, do you have a tradition that you pass down from one generation to the next? And if you do, what is it? If you've started a new tradition, what is your new tradition when it comes to Christmas?
So on our, I'm gonna take this a little bit further back. This is when my great grandmother was alive. She started a special tradition for us. As I don't know about the rest of the great grandkids. I know with me, she would always buy porcelain dolls.
Wow.
And then now my grandma is doing that for my daughter. So we have them.
That's interesting. I'm surprised they still have porcelain dolls.
I was too after I will be honest, I have about 3 totes full of porcelain dolls. And they're sitting in my garage right now because I have nowhere to put them. Because I really want to stay in their boxes.
Are any of them pretty ancient where they're worth a lot of money?
I believe so. Some of them were. Because I know that there's a couple of them that they didn't buy in a regular box, that they bought from another country.
Oh, nice.
Of porcelain dolls that you can't get here in the United States.
Let's see what everybody says in the channel. All right, let me see what's being said in the channel. I'm coming back to that now. Okay. We got lots of people saying hello to each other, so let me see who I've not said hello to yet. All right. Okay. Hey, Sherry, welcome, welcome. Hey, Pat Strawhouse. Hello, Lori Colgan. Let me see here. Hello, Carissa. June H. There's Mr. Frank, which I've already said hi to. Susan, hello. June Hanson, hello. And I probably repeated that twice already. And let me see. Hello, Jenny Jenny Drake. I hope I'm probably saying that bad. I'm so sorry. You're new in the chat, so welcome aboard. Welcome to the chat, or welcome to the channel, period. We're going to be sewing blocks and talking at the same time. So none of you have any traditions that you've passed down from one generation to the next? Kim says, when my girls were little, I made them ornaments each year. Now I make a porcelain ornament for my grandkids each year with their names and the year. That's awesome. Hello, Squirrely Quilter. Hey, Joyce H. Welcome, welcome. All right, I need to cut another piece of fabric.
I'm actually, since I have so many nieces and nephew, and especially my oldest nephew is 18, and I want to make, and I showed this last night on my channel. Not a lot of people know that I do origami stars. with paper. And I make these.
Oh, wow. Very
I buy
cool.
the ornament at Hobby Lobby. I tend to want to buy the plastic ones so that, like, my youngest niece is 1, and I don't want her to break them if her parents wanted to put them up. But I want them to have something that came from me besides quilts,
That's awesome.
which I don't mind pulling out the stars so you guys can actually see them. Those are
What are those made from?
paper. Basically, I buy scrapbook paper and I cut them down to strips instead of buying the actual origami strip paper that they use. Because I look at the cost effectiveness between the actual specialty paper for origami to scrapbooking.
Yeah.
It's cheaper to do the scrapbooking because you can get a 12 by 12 and cut them strips. And then they don't have to be so precise of sizing. You can go big, small. I have different sizes in here. I can get the one. So here's some of my bigger ones.
Nice. Those are cute. Gosh, they're so tiny.
But I like to do it that way so that I can just get more cuts out of the same fabric. Or paper, excuse me.
Those are adorable. All right. I need to have yellow ones be 2.5. So I'm just getting these cuts done so that I can sew the block. I had a busy afternoon. I went to town to have a little heart-to-heart with the people who run the snowplow because I'm very unhappy. Because I made an agreement with them 4 years or 5 years ago, explaining how when they pile that snow up in our front yard, that when the bitter rock comes, it moves all of that snow onto the top of our house or onto our house. And if the bitter rock lasts for several days, which usually it does, I've seen it last 6 days straight. And it took and moved all this, and basically because the wind can't move through the yard, it gets turned because of this mountain of snow. And so any snow that's being blown around with the wind ends up building up around my house. And so it basically makes it so I can't even open the front door because there's a block of ice standing in front of the door.
That's not good. It's not safe.
Nope. If I had an emergency, I would be screwed.
I'm with you, especially my CMA brain was thinking, that is not safe. How is anybody going to get out of the house?
Well, I couldn't get out of the house the first time it happened. I mean, I could only see about, yeah, I need to sit down for a minute. I could only see this much out of, I need to turn the spotlight off. Hold on a minute. Now I can see what I'm doing. I could only see this much out of the window on 3 sides of the house when this happened. And when you open the front door, all you saw was this white block of ice. There was no way to punch through it because it was packed in because of the wind. The back door, you can only see this much on the top because it has a half window just like my front door does. And you can only see the very few inches from the top. The north end of the house, there's only a kitchen window and then there's a bathroom window. And because of the elevation of this house and all the snow was piled on 3 sides, but the back side it wasn't, there was no way to jump. If it was an emergency, there would have been no way to just jump out.
Yeah.
Because there's like 15 feet of a drop off back there. So I went and had a talk with them 5 years ago because I told them that besides the issues I have with my lungs, falling in the snow is not, trying to climb up out of the house and try to get to the road. It's not possible because once you fall in that drift, and when you have lungs like mine, the energy gets sapped right out of you and you're stuck in the snow. And if people don't see you're stuck in the snow, you could easily freeze to death.
We can't have that for you.
No, we cannot. So I had a talk with him, and for 4 years, we've been snow free up at the front of the house. Well, for the last week and a half, I'm not snow free, and the whole front side of my house has 4.5 foot of snow already up against it. So I went to technical today to have the discussion, and I'm not sure who the guy was I talked to this afternoon that was on a big bulldozer, but he came and it cleared off some of the snow down the side of the house. Actually, he cleared off a lot of the snow on that side of the house, and then he came and talked to me, and he said, I told him, I said, you want to see what I'm talking about? And he said, sure. So we walked over so he could see from the front of the house to the road, and he's like, oh my God, now I know why you're so upset. I said, exactly. Because if the bitter rock comes, I'm screwed.
Yeah, you can't have that. And
No,
nobody with any kind of health issues they should not have anything blocking the doors.
no, I think what's going to end up, I think that me and Nicola are going to probably have to have a meeting with the technical people and find out if we can have I don't know what you call it exactly. It's similar to what you see as a ramp for wheelchair people, but it needs to start like where our fence is for the front garden, and it needs to run all the way up and across the ditch, right, not on the road, but right up, right next, butt up next to the road. And then it needs to have rails on it. And then I guess we'd have to put flags up on that, like some way for the snowplow to actually see it sitting there, so that they don't destroy it. And if they do that, I think I could keep most of the snow, reduced right there, where I can get in and out without falling in the snow, because there'll be a deck underneath my feet.
Yeah.
Instead of, yeah. So I think we're gonna have, and that's gonna be probably costly, but probably gonna have to do that because we just need to do it because I'm not getting younger.
And you need it so you have that secure safety feeling getting it.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna go live in an assisted facility just because I can't dig myself out of snow. That's just dumb.
No.
Totally dumb.
Yeah, when my grandpa was alive, when we brought him home, we actually did his ramp so he could go up and down it. And then my grandma's not getting any younger, and my great uncle, I love him, but he took the ramp away. And that's her one way to get down with the walker.
Why did he take the ramp down?
Well, it wasn't being taken care of properly. It wasn't being retreated and all that kind of stuff. Yes, we kind of fell off the planet when Grandpa passed away, but it did some good. We just didn't have time. My mom's not getting any younger. Her back hurts constantly with this biometric weather, which is what I've been dealing with the last few weeks. But we need to put a ramp back up for her.
Yeah. So I guess they're going to come this weekend or Monday and take care of the rest, unless the wind has already started. So I'm thinking they may have to get off their butts and come deal with it now, like tomorrow or something. Because once the Christmas holidays kicks in, other than the regular snow plowing when we have a bunch of snow, they may not, come and work it if they're going to be off for a holiday, except for when the snow comes, And we have at least 4 foot of snow right now on the ground.
You need to have it to where it's safe for you, and it's also safe for your husband as well, because he may not have issues, but you don't want him to fall and get hurt with all the ice and snow. You don't want to twist it.
If he was home, he would have already dug us out. It took me 5 hours to dig myself out. Started on it this morning pretty early, and I finished it by around 11, and then I took an hour nap because I was wiped out, and then I went to go discuss with them about the snow. Because I'm like, it's not
new people in the chat.
Hello. Hey, Lori from Quilting in the Country. Hey, Kristen. How are you? Hello, the Bud Files. I need to. All right. Everyone who has a channel, but try not to flood the channel, type this. I'm going to type it in the channel, and this is what you're going to use. For people who are using their channel to share content, type this. You can self-promote if you want to. And there it is. Type exclamation selfie. I might change it to GQ viewers or something like that, but I don't know how long you can actually make that word and people spell it right.
Yeah.
Hey, Canadian Family Life. Welcome, welcome. All right. I got some of my non-sewers in here. Yay. So guess what? I am one away from 2,300 subscribers as of earlier today. It did show earlier I was at 23, and then the next time I looked, it was back down to $22.99, which is hilarious. So it's probably YouTube.
Yeah. Losing some, but at the same time, YouTube likes to dump people who are not active with their account.
Yeah, that happens, I think.
Too much. And I wish they would just leave it alone and only look for the ones that are robots.
Canadian Family and Kristen and the Bud Files, you guys can share your links too. You're welcome to do that. Any of you who have content, share your channel.
And especially
say that again. I'm sorry.
Helps each other as we're growing together as a community.
Yep. This is how us little guys get bigger. Well, I'm more concerned with us little guys having a stronger platform. It doesn't necessarily have to be big like the people who have 50,000 or more. But if the channel is got a strong foundation, then, you know, if something, God forbid, it would happen to you where you're sick or something, at least you know you're not going to lose your channel because you're not there for a few days.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. And that's what I'm trying to do is get mine where I have at least a really good foundation on it so I don't have to worry so much about it.
And I'm planning on coming back. I just been dealing with some issues, and I've told you about it, Katie.
Yeah.
And so when yesterday my kid was out at 12:30, I was like, oh yeah, I get to go back to my YouTube life. Did I mess you up on something?
Jenny Drax says, I hope I'm saying this right. No channel, too scared to show my face other than Cotton Cuts. Oh, okay. A Cotton Cuts PMQ sewer. Yes. Sherry, try your selfie again because I don't see that it dropped your link. And Canadian Family Life says that unless someone wants my link, I'm happy to just be here with you all. Thank you. Katie, do you remember how many members you had last year at the same time? I know I hit 1,000 right before Christmas. I remember that because remember the goal was to hit you mean members or subscribers, Lori? She said members. I think I only had maybe 5 or 6 paid members of the channel. Actually, I couldn't have had any because I didn't hit monetization or I didn't hit full monetization until the tail end of January because I didn't have enough watch hours. You have to have 4,000 watch hours. I had the subscribers, but I didn't have the watch hours. So that's awesome, Sherry. Thank you so much. So right before Christmas, I think 2 weeks before Christmas, I hit the 1,000 subscribership. That would have been I think it was like the first, like 5 days into December is when I hit the 1,000 goal. And then I didn't hit the 4,000 watch hours until like the back end of January. I don't remember the exact date, but my channel is now 17 months old, and I don't remember what the viewer numbers was, but right now it's over 100,000 viewers, which makes me happy. But it's the watch hours that I care the most about right now, I think, because if people are not watching, you're not
Getting it
growing.
out.
Yeah, you're not getting that foundation strong enough. Right now, it looks like I'm getting about 1.2 1,200 hours per 28 days, something like that.
I think you're like right now mine, in order to get to where like the 1,000 followers and 4,000 watch hours, you have to have the 4,000 watch hours for 365 days.
Yeah, exactly. Right now I'm sitting at 17,400 watch hours, I think. I don't know. Let me look and see. It's something like that. But then it gives you a different number, and I don't know if that's based on 28 days or what it is, but right now as of today it was like 8,200 views. So maybe it's for a week or something. I don't know. I really don't understand that part of the stats, because when you do it lifetime, then it shows all of it.
Yeah. I wouldn't know. I just know that between trying to learn it, all the algorithm and everything, because most people know, I know Sandra knows that my kiddo's on the YouTube. She's also doing YouTube content creator. I inspired her, I guess. She's like, Mom's so popular. I want to be popular like her and be me and be unique. And I'm like, yeah, we want you to be you. We want you to be unique. We don't want you not to be you.
Yeah.
To be your personality, your creative.
You have to do you. You can't be false about who you are, because eventually it does catch up with you and smacks you right in the face. Jenny Drac, yes, you can watch any of the videos. The older ones, they need watching too. I've tried to split mine up into playlists where some of the playlist is like I have one, sew stronger together, another one that says let's sew. I have a podcast playlist. I have 2 or 3 different named Greenland playlists. I would love to see more people watching my Greenland end of it, because that would help that end of it as well, because that's part of who I am, because I live here in Greenland. Hey, Jody. Welcome, welcome.
Yeah, it's all about, even if, for the ones that have not started a YouTube channel and is scared, like Jenny, don't be scared. Let me tell you, when I first put my very first video out on my channel, yeah, it took me a few months before I came back to it, because I didn't know if it was going to do good or not. But at the same time, you have to want to push it, and you don't have to do lives like I do 2 days a week, a live every week. You don't have to do lives. You can do videos, you can edit them, you can do voiceovers. Nobody's going to care as long as you're being yourself.
Yeah, there's some channels, all they do is pre-records. They don't do any lives. And some of these channels are quite huge in when you think about it. And they don't do lives, but yet they're a big channel, because they produce pre-records and keep it interesting. So you don't, it depends on what your cup of tea is and what you want to share. If you just want to share a certain aspect of your life, but you don't care to become 100,000 whatever you call it channel, then that's okay too. I mean, someone asked me recently if I was shooting for 100,000. I haven't even thought about 100,000. All I'm trying to concentrate on is making the channel strong. I may never see 100,000, and I'm okay with that.
But at the same time, it kind of, like me, yes, I know I may not see 1,000 at the end of this year, but I can set a goal for at least 2 years and have a thought. That's my goal for 2 years. If I can, I'll get to it. But at the same time, you have to know what works for you. And as long as you be yourself and your personality, everybody's going to love you. Not.
Thank you, Jody. There's been a lot of discussion about super chats over the last few days, especially in the because the some of these viewers that you see in here that are not quilters, they are part of visiting a channel called Tuber Chat and also social media for channels or something like that. I never get his right, but they promote small channels, and you have to be able to deal with how fast the chat moves because it speeds. But if you go in there and say hello to everybody, and the owner of the channel sees you're in there, then he will talk about he'll say hi to you to start with. And then as you keep coming in and getting to know each other, they start sharing your channel right there on the big screen. This is so-and-so's channel. And then he'll show a little brief video, or not a video, but a brief glimpse at what you're sharing on your channel. So he'll show what you have as far as shorts, lives, pre-records. He'll talk a little bit about that. He'll talk about how many subscribers you're having and how you're trying to get up a bit. And he's pushing that. And then he also, both of them will share your channel in their community tab, depending on how active you come in and be active in the channel. Because, you got to put in the hours too. It's like networking. But I think the reason my channel is doing better is because I'm learning new things I didn't know about, because I give really great advice. He tells you what you can do to make this happen. So this past few days, it's been super chats. And he did one of them did a poll, how many of you get super chats? And I'm like, I don't get any. But I haven't asked for super chats either. But most of the quilters in here know I give super chats all the time. I do it. I've been doing it since 2017. I gave Becca. I was constantly giving her super chats. I give them to Tiffany, and a lot of the sewers I do, because it's a way of saying thank you for sharing your content and teaching me something new. So that's the beauty of a super chat.
Well, even though I don't have that, because I don't have the limit yet or something, I don't know what it is. 500 subscribers and something watch hours in order to get the super chat.
You have to have 4,000 watch hours, 1,000 subscribers, and then you can qualify for a lot of that other stuff.
But at least if I learn something, I'll take an example. Tiffany, if I learn something from her,
yeah,
I'll at least promote her back out, because I'm going to be like, same with Lorena's quilting. She's an amazing quilter, long armor. She designs swap blocks, but I will make sure the credit goes to the right person.
I want to be like Tiffany. I'm not saying I'm not envious of her. That's not what I mean. But she can bring a pattern together within a short, hot minute, and you're standing there like, wow, she did that in this amount of time. And sometimes, a lot of times, she doesn't have a written pattern. She's creating it. She's either created it right before she shows it to us, or she creates it while she's going along, and she's impressive.
Yeah. And she inspired me to write patterns. So one of my patterns is actually on my channel. And I know most of my, like Sandra K knows, Loy, I believe she knows. I made this placemat. And it's a patriotic placemat.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's out of my head. I just went and bought the fabric, didn't know how many yards I needed. I bought so much yardage of it because they were having a sale for 4th of July, Memorial Day weekend. And I sat down, I was on live. All of a sudden, I started cutting, trying to figure it all out. But at the same time, you got to allow yourself to know that you'll get there one day.
Yep.
It may take a bit, but you got to be patient with yourself.
Yes, you have to have some grace. If you don't, then you're just it'll blow up in your face. And when you're tired, you need to take a break. I mean, when you have a regular job, you might as well call this a job if you think about it.
Yeah.
And everybody gets time off and days off from a job. And sometimes you're burnt out and you need to take a break. And I noticed there's some more that came in. Hey, Sean, welcome. And Highways, hello. Or it's Highways. I'm not sure which to say that. Jody, share your channel if you want to. Sean, share your channel. It's exclamation Sophie. Hello, Susan. I think I already said hi to her. Anyone I missed, hi. But if you want to share your channel, type exclamation selfie. And what I'm working on is called the Indian Star. And I'll show you as I get this stuff cut down further.
And yeah, I'm also working on this pattern from my hobby farms called Naughty, if I said it. I'm not always
fun. They look like a kind of a star.
It's a lot of usually I try to stay away from half square triangles.
Okay.
It's a lot of them.
And Jody, again, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. That means so much to me. You know, we can talk about these monetary things and, the fact that we have viewers giving us subscriptions is just phenomenal, because without those, the channel wouldn't grow at all. And, YouTube goes and adds all these little extra perks. But I feel like that it's up to the viewer whether they want to dip into that perk and share it with a creator, because you don't necessarily have to do it. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I have half square triangles, as you can see. But before I could take this paper off, I'm going to get rid of the dog ears, and I'll show you what I mean by dog ears for those who don't know what I'm talking about. When you fold the paper back, you see how there's a little right here and right here on the end? We call those dog ears. And they need to be clipped off before you press the half square triangle open, which let me show you what I mean by that. Because I'll go ahead and finger press this so you can see the block. So this is what the block looks like. And see how there's a little tab down here and one up here? You want to do them first before you actually press this open. I mean, you can wait till after you've pressed it open and then get rid of them, but it saves you a step if you do it before you pull the paper off, because the paper is keeping the bias from being stretched. And you can go ahead. I made these a little bit. These are supposed to be 2.5 inch half square triangles. So I'm going to be trimming down, and I'll do the trim down before I pull the paper off. Let's see if I can remember how to do this with my ruler. It's been a while since I've done it. Like I don't know where my other ruler is that actually does those.
Okay. You might want to look at the chat. I don't know this person.
Okay, someone just got deleted. Gizmo got busted. Probably some naughty troller. Y'all ignore it. Don't show any interest. They will go away. And my moderators will deal with them.
Okay. I was just trying to make sure. Oh, yeah.
Sean's here. Sean can do it. So can somebody else is in here. I think this is. Oh, wait. Sean's the only one in here right now that's a moderator. I need to make another moderator. Who wants to be a moderator? Give me a heart if you don't mind helping take care of bad guys. I know I have So Terry as a moderator, but she hasn't been in here in a while. Let me see. Who can I elect to be a mod? Hey, Jody, you want to be one? Hey, Rita, how are you? Market, yes. Okay, let me make you a mod because I know you can handle yourself, because I've seen you handle things in other places. All right, let me see if I can get you on here. Gimme. Go. Let me see. Where do I put you as a moderator? Uh-oh. Oh, there you are. I was trying to figure out. Let's see here. Okay, Jody, you're now going to be a moderator. Thank you so much. Yep, this will help Sean because Sean is a busy man. Sometimes he can't stay very long. I need my oh my gosh, where is my ruler? I have too many things sitting around now.
I always call it when you can't find your ruler, your little Christmas gnomes are hiding things today.
Yes. For sure, for sure. All right, let me see if I can come up with a different plan of attack here. Use a different ruler. Yeah, here we go. So I don't know. You know what? I might have to take this off the paper and do it the other way because this confuses me. Doing it like that. All right, I'm gonna get rid of the dog ears and then go from there. Okay, see you when you come back. Y'all don't forget to hit that thumbs up like button if you haven't done it. Jody says she's raised 4 kids. She's got this. I guess I spoke too soon. I told Sean, I said, me and Sean were talking about trollers the other day, and I said, you know, I haven't had any in a while, and I should not have said that because look what showed up in the channel tonight.
Yeah. It's like their ears go on red fire.
Yeah. I don't know what he said. I'm glad I didn't see it. Probably the usual sexual harassment stuff. Sherry, did the bot share your hey Izzy, how are you? And this Izzy is a good guy. Or good, she's a girl. Anyway, she's one of the good ones. She's not the little troller that we had so much trouble with. This person that used Izzy as the first part of their name kept changing their either the last part of their name, or they would just make a whole new account and come in here. And it took a main moderator to get rid of them because the regular moderators just couldn't keep up with them. So I had to call in the big guns because I didn't know how to get rid of them. And one thing I did learn is don't say anything to them when they come in here and do something. Just you guys just la 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 la, keep going. Let the moderators handle it.
It looks like she's about to be in timeout. She don't stop doing what she's doing.
Yeah. Did she come back again?
Here's my Bernina. No, not in the chat. There's my Bernina 770.
Oh, are you having trouble?
Regular edition one.
Uh-oh.
And she's being a little stinker.
I really would like to send mine off and have it cleaned. My Janome, but I don't have a backup machine right now to do that.
I understand that feeling because Big B, Big B. Her name is Big B, but she's Bernina Q24. I wanted, and I can't get her. But right now, I can't pay $200 for someone to come out here and service her for $150.
Yeah, I have to put mine in a box and send it to Denmark. We don't have sewing machine. Now, I don't know who services the tannery sewing machines because all their machines are brother machines, and they're the industry type kind of machines. Oh my gosh, they're beast. But yeah. So that's the only downside when you live in a country where you're the largest island in the world and you're cut off from everybody.
Yeah.
Things don't work the same. And you're right, Izzy. Okay, good, Sherry. I was hoping it did. Sherry's going to come sew with me Saturday, tomorrow night. And then next week, she's going to come sew with me again. And then I also have Jess going to come and sew with me as well. And then I wanted to remind you, listen up, everyone, because I need to make sure I keep repeating myself on this. Don't forget about my 12-hour live. That's number one. That is starting December 31st at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's going to go 12 hours. Number two, I want to have a trunk show. And in order to have a trunk show, I need all of y'all, like Frank has done, share your quilts. Frank has shared a few of his, and oh my gosh, there's one of them that he shared that I just want to sit there and look at it all day long. It is so cool looking. And I know that if I saw that one in person, I'd probably sit there and just stare at it for a while. All right, where's my seam roller? But anyway, go over to the Facebook group of Greenland Quilter and share your quilts. Those of you who are not quilters, Rita wants to know trunk show. Okay, a trunk show is where you take a bunch of different quilts or different fabrics or whatever, and you exclusively show that. And so I am having a trunk show where people can go post their pictures of their quilts, or you can share if you're a crocheter and not a quilter, especially the ones that are not quilters that are in here now. You can share your crafts in there. What you're working on is fine with me. I don't think anybody's going to get mad in there if you show your crochet piece or whatever craft you're doing. I want you to share what you want to share that's creative, because this is the live show is going to be me sharing y'all's creativity, and I'm going to break it up in increments depending on how many pictures. If I only get a few pictures, the trunk show may only be one trunk show, but if I can get enough pictures, then we can share them throughout the 12 hours so everyone can see everybody's beautiful creative projects. If you don't have Facebook, for those who don't use Facebook, I'm going to type this email. Wait a minute, I might have it on the bot. Hold on a minute. If you don't have Facebook, you can email your pictures to me. Yep, there's the email. Email me at living.greenland2011@gmail.com and send me your pictures, and I'll share it that way, because I know there's a few people who don't use Facebook. I'm still trying to figure out how to navigate my Greenland Quilter into Instagram. Instagram's giving me a hard time. I have a regular Instagram account, but my Greenland Quilter name's not attached to it. And if you don't know my name, which would be, so on Instagram, this is what my Instagram username is. So for those of you that don't, make sure you write this down. That's my Instagram. You can share pictures on Instagram, but there's no way for me to download them from Instagram that I know of, unless I take my camera and screenshot them that way. And then the pictures might not be as clear as what you posted on Instagram. So it would be better to either do it on the Facebook group or email them to me and let me share your work, because that's one of the things I'll be doing in the 12-hour. Every hour I will be doing a drawing for a prize, and it'll either be the Modern Maker fabric boxes, or it could be a gift card. And for those of you who have not registered on the Google form, you will find the Google form. Do I have the form in the bot by any chance? Hang on, let me look at the bot real quick. Right click on them, maybe Katy. Yeah, I tried that, Izzy, and there is nothing on the menu where it says save as. It's like Instagram has that locked down. And I've seen that before on other places. I will post pictures. Yeah, you can post them to my email if you're not on Facebook. That's fine too. And I don't remember how many megs you can actually share, but if you get a warning, you have exceeded the amount that's allowed, then you just have to send more than one email. Rita says it's a feature Instagram just enabled for security. All right, let me look on the bot and let me see if I have my, what was I going to share? Oh, a Google form. Yeah, let me hunt down that Google form. In order to participate in the giveaway, you have to do the form. Where's my bot? That's interesting. I don't see it. Uh-oh.
It's not a good one.
Yeah, it just means when I close this browser down to restart it,
yeah.
I forgot to turn it on or put it back up again. Which means I'll probably have to log back into it again. Uh-oh, where is the login at? Here. That's interesting. No, I don't know what this is talking about. History. Bear with me, you guys, while I look for what I'm looking for. Help, Sean, I can't find my Nightbot. Oh, no. Where is it? It's like hiding from me. You know what? I'm just going to go find the Google form and share it that way. That's just easier because at least I know I can find the Google form. All right, let's go here to Google and go for forms. Maybe it's hiding too. There it is. Found it. Okay. So I'm going to share the link for those who weren't aware of this. In order to participate in the giveaway, you must do this. And the reason you have to do the form is, and as some of you have already heard me say, I do not want to have to chase your behind home or your behind. Yeah, I don't want to chase you down to get information from you when I could just do the form. And then if you win something, I have all the information I need and I can get it out to you. That's the easiest way to do it.
I really think a lot of the content creators should do it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Because people don't answer. I get aggravated, and I know some of you already heard this. I get aggravated when I send an email and people totally ignore it. It's just messed up. So here's the form. Go fill out the form, and then you can participate in the giveaway on the New Year's Eve. And you must show up at least for 10 minutes in the live. That's all you got to do. If you don't, because I'm making the live so it's an open door thing. You come in, say hi, stay a while. If you want to walk back out and then come back out later, you can. It's a very relaxed, open door kind of thing. If you and I'm just going to check you off as I see you come in the channel. That way I know you came in and gave me 10 minutes of your time. And then if your name's drawn, you'll get that prize. That's all you have to do to get the drawing. Hi, Michael. Michael, if you want to share your channel, if you type in exclamation Sophie, welcome, welcome. Okay. And I'm getting sidetracked and not getting anything done.
But at the same time, we're having fun. That's the point.
Yep. Yep. Let's get these all finger pressed so I can go over and put the hot iron on them. Rita says, I had to go do it to remember what I do to save a photo on Instagram. Ah. Yeah, I wish that, we could actually download, but I can understand why Instagram said that because that means you can't steal content. Because some people steal it and then use it for their own. I guess there's been an epidemic of that over on YouTube and on Instagram.
Also on Facebook.
I don't see it on Facebook because my Facebook is, I have a Facebook group for the channel, but people can't see if they're not on my friends list, they can't see my Facebook. They can only see the profile page, but they can't see my list of friends or anything because I have it locked down where you can't see any of that. Because I don't want bad people messaging me,
Yeah.
I try to keep that private because my family and friends are on that. And, keeping it separate from YouTube has been a good idea. Not that I've had any problems. I mean, I get a troll from time to time who, mostly it's on Instagram, I get them. They message me. And when the first thing they say is, hello, dear. And as soon as they say that, I'm like, troll.
Yeah. I get a lot of it with my business page on Instagram, and I'm like,
And I've made a comment a couple times on one of the Bon Jovi Instagram post is made. Whoever his social media person handles his stuff, I'll make a comment because he'll ask what is your favorite song, so I'll go and answer it. And when you do that, oh my God, the trolls just pour out of those seams of Instagram.
Yeah.
And you start getting messages. You can message me. This is Bon Jovi, and you can message me over on Telegram, and we can talk person to person. And I'm like, right.
Yeah.
You're going to spend time with little old me. I don't think you will. Yeah, you can send them as attachments on the email. You'll see like a little paper clip or something like that, Sherry, and you can share it like that. Susan says she's posted a few pictures of her quilts for the trunk show. Yay! The more the better, you guys. I'm so excited. I made sure I went through the ones I saw today and yesterday and commented on them so that you know that I've seen them. And Lori says she's just submitted her form for the New Year's Eve. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate that because the last time I looked, 22 people had done it. All right, I'm going to remember how we had this little discussion about this Martelli table.
Yeah.
Rita says, let me message you the info on how to save photos on the Instagram. I'll message through the Facebook Messenger. Yeah, that's fine on the Messenger. I'm fine with that. Okay, so the other day we had a discussion about my Martelli, whatever you call this thing. I am going to test the ironing part of it out in a minute. Let's see what happens. Let's see if it really doesn't melt this lazy Susan thing. Okay, you can save photos, but there's a method to what you have to do. I told people in my guild, thank you, Sherry, about that. I appreciate that. So, yep. All right. So, I know that we are all adults, but have you thought about have you told anybody what you want for Christmas? I know most of us buy mostly for our kids and grandkids, but I was curious to know whether or not, wow, they were really big. I was curious to know whether any of you have said what you want for Christmas. If someone were to buy you a gift, what would you want? Yes, you can also do that too, Lori. Anything crafty and creative is fine. Just no naked pictures. That was supposed to be funny.
You said about the Christmas for myself. My husband and I decided not to do Christmas for each other. It's kind of, I'll change camera, sorry.
Yes, Susan, you can submit as many pictures as you want to. There's not a limit. We have 12 hours to view everybody's picture, so it doesn't matter. Once I have a once I see that most is slowed down, what I'll do is probably take those pictures and put them into a folder, or either I'll pin them. I don't know. I haven't figured out how I'm gonna do it yet, so that I can catch everybody, because I don't want to leave anyone out. Carissa says, ignore the first doc that was sent by accident. Okay. And I wasn't ignoring what you said, Courtney.
You're fine. We got to keep up with the chat at the same time.
Yep. Okay, thank you, Diana, for doing the form too. Yay, we're going to get some people doing this. Nobody asked me what I want until like 2 days before Christmas, which severely limits what I can ask for. Most of the time, I just buy what I want, and if anyone asks, yep, I've done that before too.
I did buy my Christmas present yesterday. So recently, about a month ago, I ended up upgrading my tablet because I use it for the business. And I designed quilts on Procreate on my iPad. And my other iPad was starting to die like 30 minutes after I'd be on it, after it's charged. So I went ahead and replaced it. And the only problem is I can't use it because I have no case, no tempered glass on it, and I didn't have a Apple Pro pencil. And so I went and bought myself an Apple Pro pencil and my case and screen protector.
Cool. That's awesome. Jenny Drax says she likes tea and chocolate. Sherry says, I want to win the lottery. Haha. Who doesn't?
Yeah. But we, as a family, my mom actually did a surprise Christmas gift for all. There's going to be 21 of us getting on the boat.
Oh, wow.
So she purchased our cruise vacation Christmas present. But it's not till June that we're going and getting on the boat.
Where y'all going?
We're going back to Mexico. I'm just tired of Mexico right now. Too many times.
I want to go on a Norwegian cruise, or a cruise to Alaska, or a cruise to Hawaii would be cool.
Norwegian, we've been on 2 boats. We never liked it really well. But I think part of it is because we had younger kids.
Yeah, I want to go on a Norwegian cruise that's going to do Nordic countries, not the other kind.
Yeah.
I'm interested in the Nordic stuff. Because we get quite a few of the Norwegian cruise. We get several Norwegian cruise ships that come through here.
We have to look into that. But we're not using Norwegian people, because the last one we were on, nobody smiled.
Well, the Caribbean, whoever the company runs the Caribbean princess ones, those princess ones, they also come to Greenland too. But they have a habit of canceling just if the weather's just slightly not okay.
Yeah, I would hate that. Especially when you spend a lot of money to get on that boat.
Yeah, it happens a lot. They see that, they look at the weather report, and the weather report says that we're going to have high winds, blah, 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 and then we don't have them, and the Norwegian cruise had canceled coming.
Yeah.
Ooh, this iron is hot.
But yeah, we go on a lot of Carnival. Our next goal is to get on a Royal Caribbean.
Oh, nice.
So we've been together 9 years. We'll be married in July for 10 years.
Congratulations.
Tell a story, and I do apologize. So it was 6 weeks before our wedding. 8 weeks before our wedding, we took a cruise to see if we could live with each other. And we did it. Come back. My husband proposed to me, and 6 weeks later, we got married. But on that cruise, and to this day, I told him, because on one of the excursions we took, the boat had a hole. And he didn't tell me because he knew I had anxiety attack issues. And come home a week later, he goes, yeah, he was squeezing out water because he was trying to prevent the boat getting water in it.
What? Really?
In Honduras, in a Wild West forest. It's beautiful, of course. Don't ever wait till after it happens when I know something's not right. I would have not got on that day road because that would scare me.
Yeah.
So he knows now not to do any excursions without going through carnival. But we've gone through Mexico so much. I'm just like, I want to go somewhere else. This past June, we went to the Bahamas. It's beautiful. My mother-in-law and I actually did a cooking class on our last stop in Bahamas.
Some of the comments up here are funny. Carissa says to Sherry, I don't even need that much, like 5 million only. Oh, y'all are so funny. Man, I wouldn't even know what I mean, even 1 million would be okay with me.
If
Or
I
even
was
100,000. I mean, you know.
If I won a lottery, I would buy my 16 multi-needle and a bigger building.
Yeah. We would pay the mortgage off on this house and then buy a summer house in the United States or a winter house in the summer. I don't know, a house either way. I would love to buy property in Montana and put a big ass house right in the middle of it. I mean, a big house. And then any of my kids and grandkids can go there for vacation when we're not, you know, we can all join each other. I need a different ruler. Where's all, you know, the downside to not having your sewing room put together is you don't know where any of your rulers are.
Yeah, that's true, because I'm still dealing with, so I let things go crazy. Because normally I try to keep everything clean. But I let it go. It exploded in the last 3 months. I'm trying to get that back in order.
Yeah.
Judy says, I love the idea of taking a cruise as a pre-marriage test. I got married 10 years ago and must have gotten lucky because we're still together. Yeah. It was my husband's idea because most of the time you don't buy the internet package, but I had to because I had a little one at home. And my husband and my kid will correct me. She will tell me this every time, but she'll tell everybody that she adopted daddy. Even though technically my husband had to sign the papers for it. But so at that time, we were trying to make sure I still had an internet package to communicate with her while still being on a boat. And it comes to find out we didn't even, by the time we were done, we were just happy, loving birds coming home. And my parents actually met us in Oklahoma City on our way home. We went from Galveston, Texas to Oklahoma City in one trip that evening. We didn't know that they were showing up.
Wow. This better be right, man. Or I'm going to be in big trouble.
Uh-oh.
Let me make sure that I'm not about to make a big mess. I should be fine. It's weird how when you find a square ruler, it's easier to square these off.
Yeah.
And I definitely made them a little bit too big, but that's okay. I don't mind at all.
Carissa, you're right. Yeah, they take a lot of taxes out of lotteries. I will tell you,
Probably what, half of it, maybe?
probably. But when you take a cruise, you got to watch how much you spend because now Galveston will tax you as soon as you hit the United States.
What do you mean?
So much on the boat, you have to be taxed.
Don't you already pay taxes on the boat?
No, it's tax-free duty.
Oh. So they're taxing what's supposed to be tax-free duty? Is that what they're doing? Talk about ripping people off.
Yeah, if you hit an exceeding amount, they will tax you the moment you get in the United States as you're getting off the boat. And it was a new thing that they started last year.
Yeah, that just.
I looked at my husband and I said, if we didn't spend $900 or more, and he goes, no, we're good. We're good. Because this girl likes her Mar-a-Lago jewelry, the special blue stones in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like making sure we didn't overspend on that, because every cruise I tend to pick up one. Because I want a different, like this last cruise, I got a sea turtle and starfish. I had a starfish dress that I got at it in one of the stops for Bahamas. So I wanted a necklace to match the starfish on the dress.
Okay, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Hey, Giovanna, welcome, welcome. Okay, let me see. We need to come up with another question so you all keep talking. All right, since you brought up, uh-oh, what happened to my chat? Not enough memory. That was a strange one. Okay. I don't know what happened to my chat, but it's back. Since someone brought up winning the lottery, if you did win the lottery, what would you do with some of the money? You don't have to tell me you don't have to tell me what you would do with all of it, but share with us. I tell you what, let's do it. Let's limit it. What would be the one thing you would use that money for? Or let's do two things. What would be two things that you would use that winning for? Let's see what kind of answers we get. I would set up a college fund for all my grandkids. And I would buy a house, like I said, in Montana. That's what I would do with it.
Oh, and a 16 multi-needle embroidery machine. Crystal says give it to an open no-kill animal shelter.
You know what else I think I would do with it is after everything we've been through with my son, I would probably donate quite a bit of money to the they're called THS for short, so it's the I can't remember the long name, but it's run by a religious program in Georgia, but between them and the other things that helped my son, I would probably donate quite a bit of money to that to help homeless people because they need funds for that. Because they try to, because my son lived in a hotel almost for the entire 10 months he was homeless. He stayed in a hotel. Him and his son only had to spend 4 nights in their car. So I'm super thankful for them because they did everything they could to help Thomas and Blaze.
I
so my money.
I was trying to say hi to Jess.
Hey Jess, welcome, welcome. So let me see what kind of answers we're getting here. All right. Hey Jess, welcome, welcome. Rita said she would give it all to open a no-kill animal shelter. Jody says build an animal sanctuary. And Rita says, oh my goodness, you and I are on the boat. Yeah, that would be cool. Susan says, I just posted a bunch of pictures on Facebook. Thank you, Susan. Denise said, buy houses for my kids, donate to charities that help homeless. Yes. Let me see. Giovanna said she would pay her debts first and then help animals in the wild. And Jenny said she would buy a second house. My dog is super people reactive, so we didn't have anyone over for 3 years. Oh, I'm so sorry. My hubby could finally hang out with his friends in a second house. Joyce says I would buy me a house with a big sewing studio, but put the rest in trust for the kids and grandkids. Yep. Jody says happy for your son, Katy. Yeah, he is doing better. He's been on the job now for a week and a half. And from what he's told me, he's enjoying it. He likes it. And I'm so happy about that, y'all. It's such a big relief knowing that, this job is not going to pay a living wage. It's not enough. I mean, $12 an hour is not a living wage. But because he's in an apartment provided by Georgia, they will not just start taking all his money from him. They'll decide on a percentage of what they think what they'll do is they'll have a meeting together and they will come up with a budget that they think Thomas can handle and that they're okay with. And then, but that won't happen for a couple of months. He'll get at least 2 months to regroup himself on what he makes from his paycheck. And then after that, they're going to have a meeting and determine what percentage of his income will go toward his apartment. But from what I've been told by them, it won't be a big amount. They will not make it where he ends up homeless again, because the idea is to keep him stable, not make him homeless. Because he didn't become homeless like most people. Well, not most people. Not everybody drinks and does drugs that become homeless. A lot of them are just one paycheck away from homelessness. And that's basically what happened to Thomas. You lose your job, no income, you get kicked out. And that's a fact of life for people. Okay. Let me see where we are. Carissa says, I'd buy a couple 100 acres of land and build the family compound, nothing super crazy. And Rita says, terrific news for you, son. Thank you, Rita. Giovanna says, for a third thing, I would start to travel to meet my YouTube family. Yes, come on down, Giovanna. I want all y'all to come see Greenland. It's so beautiful here. So beautiful. What? Really? What do you want? What? Do you need to go shoo-shoo? Is that what you need? Shoo-shoo? Hold on a minute. I'll put you outside. Courtney, I'm going to have to take the dog out in a minute. And when I do, would you mind handling the channel for like 5 minutes?
Yeah. Okay. I asked what kind of dog you have.
I have a standard Dachshund female. And you heard her talking to me, right?
Yeah.
This is how she tells me she's got to do something. She also does that talking when she's not happy about something.
I have 3 German Shepherds.
I miss my German Shepherd.
They're 9, 8, and 7. And when I got my first one, we were just married our first year. And I got her own job, so I was like, I need a companion. The kid's in school. He's at work. I feel like I have nothing.
Yeah.
We had a Pom. When I met my husband, he had a Pomeranian. I loved him. That Pomeranian fell in love with me. We couldn't bring him to Hutch because we had some other animals in my mom's house while we were trying to process buying our house. But during that 6 weeks, we lost him.
Aww.
But he was like my baby.
Yeah, we lost our Coda in August. He was 10 years. He was 10 years and 2 months old.
Is it Rita or Crystal Dragon?
I think she probably goes by both. I've been calling her Rita because she's got Rita stuck in there.
Yeah. I am working on this pattern from Mojave Farms. It's also on YouTube.
I'll be right back. I'm going to take her to the bathroom. Come on, Nora.
And, I was supposed to have it done, but as you know, most of us our family goes hitting the ceiling fan and you have to get all your stuff back in routine. But this is the pattern I'm working on with different fabrics. So right now I just did the first 2 colors, made HSTs. This pattern is already out. It came out on December 1st. And I just want to get it done. I test for her. But with all the school stuff, I also have a 12-year-old daughter who she goes to a private school, but they don't call it private, but they don't use buses to travel the kids to their field trips. And so things go crazy when I'm all over the place. But I've had a friend with a Chihuahua and it's mixed with something else. To me, I wanted a small animal to be a service animal for me. Loud places, loud noises. I get where I can't hear anybody. And then I'm like, my anxiety will go through the roof. But I try to do my best when I can. So I'm working on the second color, which is the pink with polka dots. I am so sorry, Genova. Did I say that right? If I did not, please understand with my ears, I don't pick up certain sounds. How about this? What is everyone working on today? And the reason I'm looking this way is because my phone has the chat so that I can read you guys' chat. I'm going to just call you H, since I cannot pronounce that word very well. You have a wonderful Christmas. Ooh, fun, Jess.
Need to get your collar off. Come here.
You
Let me have your collar.
I have 2 cats, 3 German Shepherds, an English Bulldog, which is my mom's dog, and 3 ferrets because my daughter wanted ferrets. So it's a crazy household.
Sounds like a busy one to me.
Except for my 2 cats have to be locked in my daughter's room with their food and water and stuff because I will say my youngest likes to think his brain, my youngest German Shepherd, he's supposed to be an AKC German Shepherd, but he's not. His brain, he thinks he's this little itty bitty baby puppy that needs help getting up in the bed, and he doesn't understand he's not little. He's 85-pound dog. So we try to protect the cats.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I have some questions.
Okay.
Hi, lady.
Oh, that's a great question, Andrea. Andrea wants to know if you teach origami in your channel.
I can. I certainly would be willing to, because I don't want my channel just to, for a while I was doing all about just quilting, not embroidering, traveling and stuff. I want to do more things to it because I think everybody can have different preferences. And I don't want my channel, not saying that I'm not grateful. I'm grateful for all my subscribers, but I want to bring in some other ones that like origami, crochet, diamond art, and all that kind of stuff together as well.
Yeah, because the community is pretty big with all of those different medias.
Yeah, because I do crochet, I do cross stitch, and you'll probably see one of my projects on my channel. I used it as a short video, and then I travel, which you guys get to see the boat, and you get to see what I do. I'm like, you've seen one of my shorts? They fold towels into animals on Carnival.
They
And
do
so
what?
they fold their towels into animals.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So every day when you wake up, and I'm a very neat freak in my room on the boat. I want everything put up before they get to come in and clean the room. And so they'll make your bed, they will wipe down, take your plates and everything, and they'll fold your towel, and you can come in your room, and one day you have an elephant. The next day you have a cat, a bird, a bat.
That's really cool. I wonder who the artist is that likes doing that. Sounds like fun to me.
These are people who are from foreign countries that come work on a Carnival ship.
Well, that's cool.
Practice a lot. Are you asking me, Giovanna? I do apologize if I don't say any of your names right. It is hard for me completely.
You should tell them why you have a hard time with names sometimes.
I have a hard time because I have a hard of hearing when I was born, and I don't mind telling the story because it helps some of you. Some of the people I've met didn't understand why I was deaf. Mine is not hereditary. I was born and I was very sick, had 2 antibiotics put together in the 1990s that should never be put together. And so that caused my ear nerve damage. And I had to learn I never talked. When I was 2, my best friend that I grew up with, we were born 2 weeks apart, almost 2 weeks. So I was July 30th is my birthday. Her birthday was August 15th. So we were raised practically together. And so what I did was she actually picked up on what I wanted because I couldn't talk. I could make sounds, I couldn't talk. So they found out later that I needed my tonsils taken out so I could talk. And then after that, they found out I wasn't hearing, and I was like 4 or 5 at the time. And they ended up doing a hearing test and found out I had 80% hearing loss. In the last 4 years, in 2021, I had from 2019 to 2021, I lost hearing in my left ear because of multiple surgeries for my health. And I end up having to have a cochlear implant put in. So that's why you see a pink cochlear implant. I will tell you this, I used to be the one who would always pick the colors. And when I knew it was time for me to get new devices, I looked at my child and I said, it's your turn to pick the colors. I'm going to let you pick to make her feel involved into my ears.
Oh, that's cool.
It made her happy that she got to be the one to pick the colors. I was like, I'm done picking. You get to do it.
I thought I did. Wait a minute. No, maybe I'm okay. Hang on a minute. I thought I did something wrong here, but maybe not.
Thank you, Rita. And thank you, Giovanna. I do apologize on that.
You're
But
doing fine with her. I think you're doing great with her name. I mean, in my opinion, sounds good. She probably thinks so too.
well, I try.
That's all anyone can do when they're, especially when they have a deficit.
I think I wrote the thing backwards. I'll fix that.
Oh, this block is probably going to look different. I hope y'all like it because I'm sticking with it. I'm not changing the color. All right, we'll get the other side done. I just got to make sure that when I'm putting this together, I don't turn one of these half square triangles in the wrong direction, which you guys know when it comes to me, that might just happen because of my being challenged by angles. Okay, this is what it should look like once I get it sewn together.
That's going to be really pretty.
Do you think the camera really doesn't do much justice to it, does it?
It's hard to see the prints in there, but
Yeah.
it looks really pretty.
Thank you.
Rita,
Okay.
yes, I do know some signs. I'll tell you guys about a week ago on the 12th of December, I was invited to my community, of the deaf community, that signs and does everything, but they do Christmas party and at the end of the year party. And so I took my daughter there so she knows, because she was like, why do we need to learn to sign? And I said, well, when it's too loud for mom, I need to be able to see your face. And most of you might see me looking like I'm looking at something else, but I'm always looking at Katy because I read lips.
Yeah.
But,
I learned I can't walk off from the screen talking because she doesn't hear it.
Yeah. But yeah, I got her into it, and now she wants to learn to sign, and she didn't know that there was a deaf community in our town.
That's awesome. I'm happy to hear that.
Thank you. And Giovanna, yes, that is my channel.
Y'all, you that have channels, make sure you type !Selfie. Did Sean leave or is he still around?
I have not seen him in a while.
Yeah, I haven't started to comment. Let me see here. Andrea says she requires specialized hearing aids and Medicare will not pay for them. The last pair she bought, oh my God, she paid $6,000. They died this past year and I cannot afford to buy a new pair. So it is what it is. That really sucks.
Yeah, that would suck. I've never heard of Medicare not paying for them. My grandma had to have hearing aids because she worked in heavy. So there's a company called Eaton. They make products for putting together. I don't know what it. They had loud machines. She lost her hearing, and I believe Medicare did pay some, but the rest we had to pay for. But luckily on my end, my husband works at a amazing hospital in Wichita. I don't mind telling you, in Kansas. And the insurance, actually, I was surprised because I was told by his insurance they wouldn't pay the full $5,000 for the one hearing aid, but they would pay for the full cochlear, but they would pay $2,000. But turned out after surgery, they paid the whole bill off. And I can't beat that. Yeah, it is most fascinating. My daughter asked her librarian, which I volunteer at my daughter's school. I get asked a million questions a day when I'm there. Why do I have hearing aids and why I have to have them? Because
Kids are very curious.
And it's started with preschool since they've met me. And some of the ones that are, because this is my daughter's last year at this school, from her preschool years, and each time I get new class, they would ask. And I'm not scared to ask, tell you. I would rather you guys understand why. And my daughter's hearing. It is not hereditary. I was afraid when she was born that she would be that. And blessing the Lord, she was not. And they did say it was not going to be hereditary.
Yeah.
And that is awesome, Laura, with your kids being fluent in ASL. Yeah, because it helps for us as deaf and hard of hearing community to be able to communicate.
Do you know that my oldest daughter has taught Ava. Ava's 4 now, and most babies can't talk at the age of 2, not verbally. She taught Ava how to sign with her when Ava wanted something, and she was sign languaging from the time she was 2 years old. She doesn't have a hearing problem. She just did that so, I think Lynn did that so that she could communicate better with her daughter.
It makes me happy to know that people are teaching their infants,
Mm-hmm.
toddlers. Well, for sign language, I know, okay, a lot of my subscribers know we adopted my brother about 4 or 5 years ago. His fiance teaches my nephew and my niece to sign.
Mm-hmm.
She wants them to be fluent in ASL. She also teaches them Spanish so that they can speak different language, 3 in 1.
Wow,
And
that's
it's
cool.
amazing.
I'm always amazed at anyone who can speak 3 languages like my husband. It's crazy, you know. And when he does it, you're standing there and he'll be talking Danish to this person, talking English to me, and talking Greenlandic to this other person, and this conversation's rolling around in a circle, and you never see him get stuck on something. It's just like bam, bam, bam. He just does it.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then you get someone who can speak a couple languages and do ASL. It's just like, oh my goodness.
Well, and my daughter had her Christmas concert a week ago, and her music teacher, and I found out this last year, I did it in 5th grade too. Her music teacher taught the entire 3rd through 6th grade to sign in for the music called Silent Night.
Oh wow.
And I was sitting there, and as soon as they started doing that, I started bawling.
I
And
bet you did.
my daughter asked me, "Why were you crying?" And I said, "Because it's a happy tear,
It's happy tears.
and it means a lot."
That's
And
right. It does.
it's a lot of things. And she learned German. She sang a Christmas song in German. So that was new for her.
Okay.
I did not miss anybody's comments or anything.
No, I'm trying to keep an eye on it. Okay. Now then, we have Andrea says they pay for basic, but they don't work for me. Okay, on the hearing aids. Then Sherry says they only pay for basic ones, she thinks. So people are on the same page with that. Then Rita says, I have taught all of my dogs commands using sign language. Pretty amazing for my dogs. Yeah, they can learn sign language. And I've taught before my German, with German Shepherds, I have taught all of my German Shepherds during my adult life in German. I didn't use English because the reason I didn't is because on my first male shepherd, I went through all 4 levels of obedience with him, agility with him, and protection training with him. And when he didn't wear his work collar, he would lick your face. And somebody came over to my house one day and walked out the gate with him. I never saw him again. So after that, I stopped doing that and started teaching them in German because not everybody knows German dog commands.
Yeah.
And you learn some signs, or you use hand signals with dogs when you're doing agility and obedience training.
I only did AKC obedience training with my oldest. And I stopped that because originally I thought I was going to only have one dog.
They liked going through the protection training.
Put me in, put the puppy in my lap, and I'll be like, yes. I'm like, this last one, he literally had to make me take. I'm going to need to pay for it, even though I was trying to say no. And
So
have
let me see here.
My lap.
Giovanna says she speaks 2 daily, but she can understand a few as well. Yeah, I have that same thing where I used to speak Spanish pretty fluently, and then the old saying that if you don't use it, you lose it. So I still can understand quite a bit of Spanish and read some of it, but I don't speak it anymore. And now that I'm older, it's like I just want to concentrate on Greenlandic. And the weird thing is with Greenlandic and Danish, when I go into the grocery stores, I can read the Danish, but I don't speak any Danish at all. I can speak quite a bit of Greenlandic, but I can't read Greenlandic. I have a difficulty with that. So, it's weird.
There's a lot of practice and practice and practice.
Yeah,
I don't do a lot of other language. The only two I have is English and ASL. That's it.
those are two top ones to be learning for sure.
Yeah.
English
And
is
I wish a lot of more people would learn ASL, but we can't push it. They have to come to terms. Oh, if I'm going to communicate with somebody, I need to learn this.
they can't come around with the idea of having to learn another foreign language besides their own.
Yeah.
I mean, do you know how many languages are spoken in the United States currently? Have you ever looked that up? It's close to
No,
700 languages that are spoken in our country
I
because
never
they're
knew.
from all over the world. That's why Congress won't pass that law that says that English is a national language because they can't, because it's not. They've tried a few times, but every time it ends up losing, from what I understand. I don't know how many times it's been pulled before Congress, but it's failed at least 2 times that I know about.
I don't really, and I'll be honest, I never watch the elections. I don't deal with political.
Yeah, this is not about the elections. This is about a law that they were trying to pass.
And I wish they understand you can't really make it nationality in a state when you got multiple different type of languages. I used to work in a and I had a patient that was talking to me in German. I'm like trying to figure out what he's saying. I literally had to download an app that translated one.
Yeah. And we have technology now that can help us be more understanding of people's languages.
Yeah. Hey, Canadian family, welcome back.
Moving to Greenland has really taught me a lot about you have to I have learned, I never have had that much of a closed mind. Maybe I did when I was a lot younger, but as I've aged, my mind has been more open to different thoughts and things. But living here has helped me understand that, you have to adapt. And if you don't adapt, then you're going to struggle the whole time you're somewhere that you want to be, but you're not what's the word I'm trying to come up? You're not doing good with it when you should be doing good with it because you refuse to adapt to the situation. And if you adapt, your life will be much more pleasant.
And a lot of people don't adapt to different languages. I try, but at the same time, when like words in Spanish, it is harder for me to do.
I agree with you, Giovanna. There's a new thing happening here in Greenland. There's a young woman who has a huge YouTube following, and she just does shorts. But I think she's at the over 1 million, I believe, and her channel name is called Q's Greenland. And she takes that 1 minute and she says something about Greenland, and she does it fast enough that you learn every time you watch the next day, because she goes 365 days. She has 365 shorts. And you learn something about Greenland by watching what she has to say about Greenland. So the latest one has to do with she almost forgot what Christmas meant to her. And so she explained what she was talking about. And I've been hearing different, or mostly seeing it on Facebook, about how some of the younger generation is withdrawing from the forced colonization that they've had to live with. And we all know that colonization brings not just what it brings to this country, but it also brings religion that was forced upon them. And so some of them are withdrawing from it and going back to their native beliefs. And I'm like, yeah, let's do this, because they should be able to do that, because that was taken from them. But a lot of people don't agree with it because they think it's wrong,
Yeah.
These people here are very beautiful, spirited people. It's amazing the way they take immigrants into the country and they love them as if you're part of them, because they definitely have made me feel welcome. Okay, now we've got what I did is I've chain pieced. So I've sewn 2 at a time together. And here's where I am on this so far. Let me show it to you so you can see. Now I'm going to sew all of these together and all of these together, and then that'll leave the center to sew together. Giovanna says, being in Italy, coming from Kenya, I am forced to be bilingual. Yep, same here. Diana says, I know we are planning on getting a GSD. I plan to be given commands in Spanish. Oh, that's awesome. Frank says, I can hardly speak my native tongue English, laugh out loud. Been here all my days. Rita says, I do not do politics at all and dislike Beyond News. Yeah. Giovanna says, the very first language in the U.S. should be, yeah, I already read that one. Okay, now I've caught up. And then down here, Rita says, my paternal great-grandfather was a Blackfoot Indian medicine man. It is amazing. So many things were passed on to me that I still remember. Yeah, you know, the people here pass on from generation to generation how to respect nature. And this is the core to all Greenlandic peoples, the Inuit people. They pass this from generation to generation that you don't take more than you need. You don't leave nature in a mess because you're going to piss off Mother of the Sea, or, they use that as a way to say, if you do this, then you're damaging nature, and nature can't give back to you if you've destroyed it, and they teach this to each generation. And I think it's a really great thing to pass on to each of the generations. And then Giovanna says, you must follow what your heart believes in. I was sent to convent, but I didn't practice what I was brought up to. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. You got a question we can come up with, Courtney? I can't hear you.
Okay, something's wrong with my microphone lately.
Now it's working, but a minute ago I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I had it on my little devices.
How far along are you on a block?
I'm just working on the next one, so I have to make a lot of HSTs.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you had something to share yet or not.
32 blocks.
Are you doing those half square triangles the old way, or are you doing it a different way?
It's actually doing so 2 sides lines corner to corner.
Ah, okay.
But I'm not doing what the parentheses says right now because I only want to do 8 and see where this goes.
Okay. All right. Giovanna says we have already pissed off Mother Nature. Yep. Hey, speaking of something, I want to ask you guys something. The other day, when it was snowing, buckets of snow, and I was outside trying to keep a path open so that Nora could get outside to do her business, I had gloves on, dark blue gloves, and I didn't think anything about it. And because they had snow all over them because of shoveling snow. The next morning when I got it, I'm like, I need to go dig more snow. So I got ready to put my gloves on. My gloves were dry, but on the palm side of my gloves had white stuff on it. It looked like plastic. And it made me realize, what if that was coming from the snow? So that means that the plastic was in the atmosphere? It's the strangest thing I've ever seen. I've never had that happen.
Pat says, I'm back from lurking. I managed to get a few more blocks sewn together for the granddaughter's quilt.
Frank says Gaia is not a happy planet. That's for sure. What is Gaia? Is that another name for Earth?
Probably.
Hi, Mama Earth. Rita says, what is snow, huh? If you saw the amount of snow that is in my front yard, y'all would be, yeah. There is 4 foot of snow just surrounding 3 sides of my house. That's up against the house. That's why when I went to complain today, they got an earful. And the young man who was translating, he says, I can see why you're upset. I'm like, of course I am. I said, I have bad lungs and I have a bad back, and I cannot spend 10 hours digging myself out.
Yeah.
It took 5.5 hours just to dig a path from the house to the road where I could go and talk to them about it. Because I had called them, I called them on the phone 4 days ago, and they said they were going to send someone out there. Did they come in? Nope. And so after I come back home, after all of that, I went and I did that. I went and ate. Then I went grocery shopping. I came home with a big piece of ribeye from the United States of America, you guys, and a tri-tip, which I can't wait to eat when Nikolai comes home. And then I thought I heard the snowplow like by the house, and I'm like, all right, what's going on? I walk out the door, and they're clearing out 4 foot of snow on this side of the house. On the side that where my entrance is, they cleared all of that out. And then he said someone will come tomorrow, the next day, and they'll clear all of this stuff on the front. And I'm just like, yes, because I had him get off the tractor and come talk to me. I said, I want to show you something so you can have an understanding of what I'm trying to explain up at the office. He says, okay. So he went and he stood at the entrance where I showed him to stand. I said, do you see what I see? He says, oh my God, there's a lot of snow. And you're right, it does block the view to the road. And if emergency services needed to find you, they couldn't find you. Exactly. He said, I will get this dealt with. Because I told him that even if they couldn't find me, if the Bitterrock comes, I'm totally screwed because it'll just move it all onto the house. And then I won't be able to get out of the house at all. Because I've had it happen. It's no fun when you get blocked in your own house. Because the wind is like a hurricane. Like it can be anywhere from like a Cat 2 to a Cat 3. And so standing outside trying to dig out the snow while the wind is moving it is impossible.
Yeah.
You just can't do it. And it drops the temperature to like minus 54 degrees, and that is freaking cold. Okay, let me see what I missed. Jenny says microplastics are all, yeah, I knew they were in the oceans. I would not be surprised if they were in the atmosphere too. I swear that's what that was, and it had to come from the snow. Giovanna says we have microplastic in the air. So if it's in the air and it's mixed with snow, that means we're inhaling it. And people with lung disease like me, oh, that's very bad. Rita says, I grew up in Colorado and no snow. I thought Colorado had snow. Is that a misnomer for Colorado? Frank says microbes are in some bloodstreams in humans. And then Giovanna says, as I said, we have ruined this planet. We are too many people who don't respect it. Yep. Rita says, are you closer to Iceland or Canada? Canada. And Iceland's like this little drop of something in the middle of the water compared to Greenland. And then Rita says, you are making me cold talking about snow, haha. And then she says, no, here in Arizona, no snow. Oh, wow. See, I always thought Colorado had mountains with snow in it. He used to, my dad was a deer hunter, an avid deer hunter, and he was friends with a bunch of guys. And they always talked about going to Colorado deer hunting because they wanted to kill the bigger deer. I think they were elk. And they wanted to do it because they have such big racks on them. And but they would only go in the wintertime because that's the only time it's legal to hunt deer is a certain time of the year in December or right after Thanksgiving anyway.
Colorado has tons of snow. I know that for a fact. We went up to Pike Peak. It was so bad.
I have never seen Colorado, but I wouldn't mind seeing it. But I think I want to see Montana more. And I've been to Yosemite 3 times now because I just can't get enough of the trees.
One thing I want is not to live where it's cold.
They're so big. Oh my gosh, they're so big. You know, people. I used to tell people, and there's no one in here that can back that up because none of y'all have known me my whole life. But I used to tell people I would never leave Florida, and I could never live somewhere that it was cold because I couldn't stand the winter in Florida. Look where I'm living, and I actually don't mind it here like I did in Florida. The atmosphere and everything's different here. The air is drier. My asthma behaves itself a lot better. But I also think it behaves itself a lot better because we're surrounded by ocean. Because the doctor told my parent or my mother a long time ago, you know, when she had to take me for emergency, he said, you really should not have moved her to Central North Florida. This is very bad for her because she has the worst asthma he had ever seen in a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
And so when I hit adulthood, that's when it started trying to end me. So now I'm more. Sometimes I still don't know that it's that bad, and you know, even though I'm using the inhaler a lot more than I should be, I've had it for so long that sometimes I try to stick it out when I shouldn't. I should just go to the hospital and get it over with.
Yeah. But sometimes you got to do what you can.
Yep, because by the time I get to the point where I can't talk, it's bad. And I've been chewed out a few times by doctors for waiting that long. It's just that when you go to the emergency room, if they don't, sometimes when you can't breathe, they don't always, sometimes you don't look like you're struggling when you are. And so a lot of times they'll just sit you down. And then by the time you do see a doctor, you're already bad.
And that's one of the things I don't like going to the ER because some of them will just judge you and think you are not bad.
Yep, exactly. I used to think that asthma was the most misunderstood disease, but now I'm beginning to think that asthma's not the only one. Pain is the other one that's misunderstood. Because a lot of times people think you're faking when you say you're in pain because they can't physically see anything wrong with you.
Yeah, it's like trying to explain the type of pain. I will be honest. Yes, I see a pain doctor, and this nurse practitioner, it was hard to get her to understand. Yes, I'm in constant pain. Nothing's working. Help me with something else. But it's taken almost 3-4 years now to get through. And I can understand that they don't know what we live through until they try.
Let's see here. We're missing some stuff again. Okay, let me backtrack here. Let me see it here. Frank says, for the love of procreation, we have well done bad work. Rita says, Colorado has tons of snow. Then Laura says, Rita, I'm in Arizona too. I moved here from Iowa 36 years ago and love the weather here. Then Rita says, but Colorado only has I didn't know this, small section that is mountains. The rest is desert. Wow, I'm learning something here today. I did not know that. Giovanna says, it was snowing in the mountains today and yesterday. Oh, I bet that's a pretty sight for you. Sherry says, from Iowa too, it's freezing there. And then Giovanna says, you have dry cold. Yep. Frank says, I'm tired of Florida. I don't blame you. I really don't. Our state has changed in the last 20 years. Giovanna says, here we have humid cold. Yeah, and that's why I think I don't like the cold in Florida, because it's humid cold. Rita says, I was stationed for boot camp in the Navy in Florida from September to December. The air was super cold. Yeah, it's a humid cold and it goes into you and you just can't get warm. Carissa says, my middle son lives in Great Falls, Montana. He loves it there. Yeah, Montana's gorgeous. I would love to buy land there. Frank says, when cold, it's cold. I'm from Pennsylvania. Rita says, I lived in Oregon for years and I have bronchial asthma, and doctor said go to a dry state. Giovanna says you should always get the problem. You should always get the problem when it starts. It is easier to cure. Yep, you're right. My stubbornness has got me in many trouble for that. She also says, Frank, there's a difference between dry and humid cold. Rita says, I have now the second spinal cord stimulator, fixing to get my third one. Took years for them. Oh, for pain management. Ouch. Hey, Deb S. Welcome, welcome. Laura says, I had spinal meningitis in 2000, and it took years before I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. I also have several other autoimmune disorders that contribute to chronic pain. And Frank says, for sure, Giovanna. So, y'all, I don't talk about it much, but I suffer from pain. I just don't talk about it much.
Oh.
Because I have two prolapsed disc in my lumbar area of L4 and L5, and it sits on this nerve that runs down my left leg, and so part of my leg has what I call supersonic nerves. So if you were to touch me with cold hands, it would feel like somebody stabbed me with a knife.
Yeah.
And then at nighttime when I lay down, that nerve pain keeps me awake. But during the daytime, I ignore it.
So what happened to my spine was a nurse opened a fire door. I was a certified nurse aide med aide, which I don't mind explaining, which took my L5S1 disc. I have no disc in there. And it took me a year to fight, and finally somebody was able to listen and notice nothing was working. No meds, nothing. To find out that I needed a brace to hold my spine together. And then I also have a spinal cord stimulator, which I've been fighting to get it back out.
Yeah. My prolapse discs happened because someone rear-ended me doing 65 miles an hour, and I was sitting at a dead stop with my feet on the brakes. And that's what started it, and it just deteriorated from there. The wind has come, you guys. I can hear it. I knew it would come. Rita says my spine damage has been done. Doctors say it's what came from childhood abuse. Yeah, there's that. Deb says I go there a few times a year, Laura. And then Rita says, yes, exactly, Katy. I cannot handle being touched. Even a cat rubbing against my leg hurts. Yeah, sometimes Nora wants to lay the length of my left leg, and her hair feel like little needles poking that area. And it's like, oh, stop touching me. So I put a blanket between me and her.
I'm so sorry, Laura. I hope you can get that taken care of.
Yeah, I hope you can too.
Yeah, I have one fused disc. I have a part, so L5S1's fused, and then L4 and L5 has a disc that's bulging in the wrong way.
What? So the insurance is the reason they're putting off your surgery, Laura?
A lot of insurance won't prove it.
They're letting you suffer for something you have no control over? This is so wrong.
Like you have to, and even Laura, I'm gonna give you advice a little bit because as I was learning about my insurance and stuff, I started going straight directly to them and advocating for myself because they were trying to say I had some surgery done in the front so that I can make the back feel better, but it didn't help much. But you have to advocate so that they can understand from you, so that they know what's going on, because all they see is the doctor just putting an order in.
Yeah, but that's implying that they don't think a doctor knows what they're doing when they do.
Yeah, most insurance do that, and then they'll make you
Insurance companies are not doctors.
get approved, which is crazy. And it's like trying to explain to them, hey, you don't know what I go through on a daily basis. I'm gonna explain to you, it feels like someone is stabbing me,
Yep.
or something is touching me where I don't want to be. Small things, like you said, Katie, you don't want, Nora touches you and it feels like someone's poking at you.
Yep. And certain kinds of clothes are irritating, so I don't wear them. I stopped wearing jeans, I guess, a couple years after I moved here. So now it's leggings, and it has to be soft leggings. If it's the rough kind, I just can't hardly wear them.
So I have been blessed with my insurance because my insurance is a hospital insurance. Other than when I have to go to the other doctors, I have to tell these doctors' office, which company to call, because they keep thinking I'm this company, say example Blue Cross Blue Shield, and I'm not, because they don't understand Ascension a lot. So
Mhm.
I have to remind them that I'm not Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Blue Cross Blue Shield used to be a good insurance company way back when, but from what I've been hearing recently, it's not so great anymore.
The only reason our card is made that way is because we're Smart Health, but they're just name on the card.
Yeah.
So here's the next HST I just finished.
Oh, nice. Look at that.
I just gotta track that down. And then, so basically, I'm going to be, the next two colors will be the same way as well.
Oh, okay.
So that the background fabric is all black. So I don't have to deal with, because I was like, I don't want white. I don't like white. I'll take them. I like white on certain projects, but if it's going to be in my house, white's out the door, because gray German Shepherds do cats. I don't want to see white in my house on quilts. I don't mind doing it for other people. I am so sorry, Laura, that you're having to wait this long. It's always so bad that we have to advocate for ourselves to everybody, which isn't fair to us. That
No.
we're the ones suffering and they're not listening.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to show you this before I sew them together. All right, now I've got them into quadrants of 4. So what I need to do now is I'm going to sew these together and sew this one together. And then after that, I will sew this center seam together, and then I'll have a whole block.
It's going to be really pretty.
Yeah. Let me see what time it is. Let's see, we started at 7. Okay, so we're 2 hours in. Okay. We might get this block finished before. Is everybody okay so far with how long we're going? Because I know Donna's not going live behind me, so I don't have a time clock tonight like I usually do. Okay.
Yeah, black because my German Shepherd hair is in some areas, but and my clats are both black. You can't really see it.
I call them the German shedder because their hair is everywhere.
I call them glitter.
Yeah, like glitter, yeah. All right, my insurance. Rita says her insurance has been amazing. Frank says they won't fix my shoulder either. On my way to the poorhouse, can't work at only 62 years of age. Rita says the stimulator is failing. I refer to that as putting my hand on a high voltage wire. Oh my gosh. Giovanna says here we don't have that problem. Our medical system may not be perfect, but it is a lot better than the US, definitely. Rita says I have 4 different insurances and one being Blue Cross Blue Shield. Katy, Laura says, Katy, I fractured my back on December 10th and have been waiting since then. I've been trying. I've called the surgeon, insurance, and my PCP to try to. Golly, that's just wrong. You pay all that money and they treat you that way. Rita says she lost track of how many times she had to call the insurance. Shh. And Sherry says, Katy, don't you just love those Martelli rotary mats? Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. It's definitely a big one, but it does work on top of this table with my limited space. So yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I just started using it, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago. I've had it for almost 2 years and hadn't used it. Carissa says, I have been a type 1 diabetic for 42 of 46 years of life. I get kicked back from insurance all the time about covering my Dexcorn, my Humalog, and my insulin pump supplies. It's dumb. It is dumb. It's sad to see that so many good people are screwed on a daily basis when all we did was try to live. Yep. And you pay for all these things that they don't want to. You pay for insurance, and the insurance company is reneging, basically. What do you want?
Wanting to talk tonight.
She either wants to go back outside again because she didn't finish her business because she was messing around. And I have no patience when it's that cold outside for her to mess around because the temperature has dropped. Let me see where we are on temperature. Yeah, it's 21 degrees right now. So I could tell that when I walked out earlier with her. Do you need to go shoo-shoo? Or you want food? I bet it's food you want. Hang on, I'm gonna give her a chicken leg and that'll quiet her. Come here. Let me give you a raw chicken leg.
Yeah, I agree, Laura. And especially we're paying high premium insurance, we should be getting what we need. But it's more, to me, I feel like when I'm calling, I'm having to explain it a bit more. And half the time I get it proved faster because I'm like explaining it. And I'm making them to sit there to listen to what I explain. And now some of them I deal with them overrunning, talking me. But I'm like, you're not listening. You need to hear me. You need to sit there and kind of pretend you're in my shoes. I don't know, Giovanna, where that would be because I don't get free medical. I just have to deal with insurance and making them understand because my husband pays for it with his work. But we shouldn't have to sit there and listen or make them listen and step in our shoes to feel what we feel. But in the end, half the time it just gets pushed through and improved because we finally did it. In Italy, the thing is you pay for insurance and taxes where we pay only taxes, which are high, but at least you have free medical. That was
We don't
Giovanna,
pay insurance. Our taxes takes care of our medical.
Italy.
I know, but even in Greenland, it's the same thing. We have national health care. So our
Yeah.
taxes is what covers most of that. We don't have out of pocket. I don't know about Giovanna, how hers work in Italy, but here in Greenland, even my medication is paid for. I don't pay for anything at all. But from what I hear, if we were to live in Denmark, we would have out of pocket expenses for my medicine, but that would be it. Everything else is covered under that United Healthcare stuff or whatever they call it.
But I wish they would do something better with our insurance. I wish they would fix our medical system.
They
But
need to have
we're not
national
going to keep
health
that.
care.
None of the Congress is going to want to deal with it.
Oh, they don't want Americans having health care.
Free healthcare, which we should have. When we're
It's
working,
not, well, it's you know, your taxes be fitting a bill for it.
Yeah.
But they don't want to do that. And it should be a human right to have health care.
yeah. Lois says everyone have to go. You all have a good evening. You too,
Who's leaving?
Lloyd.
Well, hey, Lori, have a good evening. I hope that our discussion didn't like run you off.
Yeah, I'm also on disability, but I'm not using the insurance through that company because of my husband having an amazing insurance with his job. And I didn't want to deal with changing over to that and then be screwed with my ears. Because especially they paid for my cochlear and hearing aid. I don't want to lose that.
Does the cochlea have to be updated every so often, or is it,
So
or does it not change?
I went up in Monday, the first Monday of this month. They had to do an update on my cochlear from their computer. And I have to be Bluetooth to their computer. But in 2 years, which I don't have to go back, which I'm very proud of myself because I've been working really hard, hearing and noises. In 2 years, in 2026, my cochlear and my hearing aid will be out of warranty. And my audiologist recommend to go ahead at that time. They'll probably come out with new products, which by the way, I do not, right here where my two fingers are.
Yeah.
On the inside plant.
Mhm.
I do not have to change that unless it dies or it doesn't work.
What is the
But
lifespan on one of those?
I was told 10 years,
Okay.
but it could last longer if I take care of it properly.
Yeah.
I tend to, most of the time when I was just do hearing aids, I would try to make my hearing aids last longer than 10 years because I was like, insurance aren't going to pay it. My parents have been paying out of pocket since I was a kid. Rita, I have Medtronic simulator. I never after they put it in at the first of the new year, I was having issues like it was shocking me. And nobody would do anything about it. Other than try to adjust the stimulator or fix it something. And I'm like, it's still shocking me as soon as I turn it on. I shouldn't have to feel that. We're thinking, even with it off, I still get the shocking feeling. And so now my mom is thinking I might be pinching one of my nerves. And we don't know it.
How would that be caused?
Well, with the cord that they put in, they have to put a little thing to hold it in place. So they could have been pinching that and pinching that nerve while they're trying to hold that cord in place.
Oh.
But they kept saying, it's a brand new device, it's everything. I'm like, I shouldn't be feeling this. I should be feeling it through my legs. Ginny says, sorry for going off topic. You're fine. I just finished reading instructions for your 12-hour live. Is the live going to happen on YouTube or Zoom?
I'll be using anyone who wants to come on to the live part of it where people can see you will be through Zoom. And I can have up to 50 people on it, but I don't see 50 people being on it because last year I think I only had 1 or 2 maybe at any given time. But anyone's welcome on there that wants to come on. But if you don't want to come on, that's okay too. I want you to check this out. Wait a minute.
Had a question. It might have, the leads may have moved. That could be.
You could do this block. You could do this block a different way. Check it out. It could be like this.
Oh, that would be really pretty. Yes, right.
Yeah. But
we're gonna ask why am I not in the house?
Rita says the leads may have moved.
Yeah.
And then she says, that was my first one. Mine now is from Abbott. And then Carissa says, that's like my insurance company asking if I still need to use insulin. It's like you do not know what type 1 diabetes is. My pancreas is completely dead after an illness. If I don't take insulin, I literally die. Yep.
Wacko. Nobody should have to be put up with that.
Nope, they should not. You didn't ask for it.
No matter how well you take care of it, it's still gonna be something's wrong. And I know I have a habit of thinking, what did I do wrong? When I find a test of something's wrong in my body, I'm like, I eat healthy, I do this, I do that, don't eat junk food a lot. But it's still gonna happen because we work in different parts of our lives. And I do apologize, Carissa, that you're having to deal with that. Nobody should have to ask you if you still need it.
I didn't see Mary G drop in here. Hey, Mary G.
Did I miss her too?
She's here because it showed I was looking to see if someone else was here. And she's here along with Andrea and Jody because that's who I was looking to see if Andrea was still around.
Yeah. Hi, Denise. Here's the second color.
That's going to go good together. If I let you outside, you have to hurry up. The wind is coming now. The snow is also here. Looks like we're going to have a blizzard, which is not cool. As I can hear the wind outside.
Marketplace Boutique says she's here.
Hey, Jody. I'm glad you're still here, Jody. This block is almost done, but a certain somebody is interrupting me.
Hey, our lives, right? We deal with come in and
this is real life, you guys. The needs of even a dog has to be accounted for.
It's hilarious how we have to kind of do a talking to our middleest dog.
Mm-hmm.
Her nickname is Hunky Bunky.
Hunky Bunky, that's cute.
Tall. She was short and just went the other way.
Mm-hmm.
So named her Chunky Monkey. Her name is Princess Leia from Star Wars. And
someone else that named their dog after a Star Wars character.
Well, all of 5 of our animals. Our oldest is Anna from Elsa, or from Frozen. Rita would like to see your dog, Katy.
Okay, come here, Nora.
And then our Leia, which is our chunky monkey, and then Mufasa's from Lion King. Oh, he's such a beauty.
This is a standard female Dachshund. She is not a little dog. See, I'm a small dog, but I'm not a meanie. And I ain't scared of anything.
Good night, Giovanni.
Sweet dreams, Giovanna. See, sweat.
I miss my little.
See that tail going 90 to nothing? But this is Nora.
Hi, Nora. You're not gonna talk now?
He can see you.
My sweet girl.
Keep talking to her. Say her name.
Nora.
The dog actually say hi. No, you're not getting on the desk to go up to the screen. No, not happening. She's hilarious because when she sees dogs on TV or animals on TV, she jumps, because she's on the bed, she'll go to the edge of the bed and you'll see her front feet doing like this and she's barking at the TV. It's hilarious. It's like, so dog can actually see what's on the screen. And when Nikolai calls and he's on like FaceTime, and she already knows it's him because she hears him, but when she sees his face, she tries to lick the phone. It's so funny.
He's so cute. Yeah, and then our two cats, Nightmare. The only reason she got named that way is she kind of took her front claws through my husband's head and he's sleeping. He was working nights and was wanting to make biscuits and didn't realize she was using her claws, and my husband called her Nightmare.
Oh no.
And then our youngest is named Elsa, also from Frozen.
That's
and
funny.
Then our ferrets is Kiwi, Coco, Coco Loco, and Lilo from Stitch.
Nora has a really long name. It's Northern Lights with a bunch of with some more long Russian words behind it on her paperwork. So we decided to just call her Nora for short.
Oh.
I wanted to make sure that whatever we named her didn't get confused with. See, Coda's actual name was O Dakota, and O Dakota means it's a Native American name, and it means protector. And for a while there, we were calling him O Dakota, but that's a mouthful when you think about it. So then we were switching to Dakota, and at some point I stopped calling him Dakota, except when I'm scolding him, and it went to Coda, you know. And, you know, he was fine with being called Coda.
You know that, so our oldest is Anna Marie. Our middleest is Leia Strawberry, because this is my daughter named her, Leia Strawberry. Our youngest one, and I think his middle name came from a movie of the wolves or something. It's and I don't know where we got that name from. I think it came from one of the movies that I watched.
Probably.
Because it was one of those, how a little baby was born in the woods and the wolves took care of him growing up.
You know, it's interesting, these stories about wolves taking care of kids and polar bears taking care of kids, because that's one of the folk tales here in Greenland, is a polar bear taking care of a child who had lost his parents, and then he was being picked on in his village, so he ran off, and he came face to face with a polar bear, and the polar bear started protecting him.
Yeah, I love the movie. I just think it came from there. And this Mufasa actually chose my husband.
Oh my gosh, I have to fix the center seam. It moved.
My husband's co-worker brought the puppies up because she was trying to sell them, because they were getting close, ready to be needing to go to new homes. She breeds them all the time. And I got promised when we bought him, because he had a very special color. So he's black and tan with silver fur.
Aww.
very rare to find one. I promised I wouldn't do anything to him because I know I'm literally fighting with him because he thinks the girls are his girlfriends. But it was a very rare. Out of that batch of puppies that she had, she was gonna keep him. Instead, I ended up buying it, and he was so beautiful.
Yeah.
German shepherds with the silver on the chest and in their
Yeah.
face and neck. But we made sure we fixed his sister, which is Leia, because they're actually half siblings.
I think it's funny how quickly the females get fixed over. Like here in this country, when you bring a puppy in, if it's a female, you have a certain amount of time to get that female spayed, but they don't ask you to neuter the males.
Yeah, like I got told that I couldn't neuter my male because he wasn't aggressive. Hi, Miss Joyce 1.
Hello, Miss Joyce. I hope I said that right. Probably not, knowing me. Knowing me, knowing you. Uh-huh.
And welcome.
Welcome to my channel. Let me see here. Rita says, my little male dog, Lobo, he did his thing, and with his wife, they had 3 puppies. The mom, at 2 weeks, did not want puppies. Lobo took over raising his puppies. Oh, that's too funny. What? You're gonna have to wait a minute, baby. Mommy's trying to do something. I'm on a roll here. No. What? Did you lose your ball? Nope, your ball's right there. Get your ball. Get your ball.
Yeah.
No, that's not working. That means she needs to go outside again.
In the
Hang
last
on a minute. Let me get this center seam done, and then I'll take her out. Can you hear her attacking a ball?
Well, in the last few weeks, we noticed my youngest was, if he does not have his, what is it called, Qaqortoq balls, he would chew on our shoes.
Yeah.
And so I didn't realize we were down to almost like 3 balls, and they kept ending up in our bed, underneath our bed. And so my husband goes crazy, orders 8 balls at Petco and 8 balls on Amazon. And now we have 16 balls in the house and plus 3. But I'm like, I'd rather have more balls than my shoes tore up.
Yeah.
My daughter's like,
This one's hard on toys, man. Nikolai brought those 2 small red balls home. Right now she's down to 1. Let's see, he brought them home this last time he was off, and it looked like they were going to stand up to her abuse, but we found that she cut one of them with her teeth. So I had to take it away from her because I didn't want her eating plastic.
yeah.
So far, she hasn't wounded this other one, but I bet you she will eventually. And I'll have to take it away too. Okay, I'm almost ready to show you guys this block. As soon as I press it. The only thing with this Martelli thing right here, it has a strange smell to it when the iron is on it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's normal or not.
It shouldn't have a strange smell to it with an iron board.
It has a weird smell.
So it looks like I only have one more color to put together.
Cool. So that means you've got it done, ready to sew together?
No, I have to make the 8 triangles. And then the next step, I have to do color to color, not just color to black, which is a lot of pieces.
Rita wants to know, does having 300 koi and goldfish count as pets?
Yes.
Yeah, I would think so.
There's a lot of, okay, I only have 1 child and I can't have more kids, and for health reasons. I clean my dogs and my cats and my ferrets and my mom's dog. My mom's dog is my sister, and my cats and the ferrets and my dogs are my kids too. And my daughter goes,
we call our dogs kids too, so I get that.
it's hard to, when you want more kids. Before we got married, we talked about kids because we talked about wanting at least maybe one or two more, but it just didn't happen for us. Trying to have animals is a better way to deal with it.
Yeah. I can't imagine going through the rest of my life without a dog. I mean, I had dogs all of my life. I'm sad that I won't be doing any more German Shepherds because Coda was the last one, because I've had German Shepherds all of my adult life. But I can't keep up with high drive dog, not anymore. I used to, but not so much now. And Coda did slow down some, but when you take him to the lake, he expected to play fetch all day long.
Yeah. My problem is
mine is having problems with the neighbors, with people acting like he was going to eat them when he could care less about them was the other thing. It made it stressful. Oh, we have a finished block, you guys. We have a finished block. And I actually got it done on a Friday night instead of Saturday when it's due.
Yay! We got you there.
Yes, indeedy.
But like on my puppies, I can't let them roam in my backyard.
You don't like them running?
Let's just say they break my fence boards and get out and roam the whole city. One time, my oldest came back, but the two young ones went so we live out closer by the country. If you go the other direction, you're headed towards Walmart and busy city part of town. And they were almost to Walmart. That is really pretty. I like it. I'm so glad we got to get it done.
Yep.
But I have a 10 by 30 kennel for them to roam in. Except for the other day, my husband went outside to check on them because they were barking for some reason.
Okay, I think we missed something here. Miss Joyce, I don't know what I'm saying. Question. I'm very new to sewing and I just got a jelly roll and I'm trying to sew strips together and the thread is puckering. Any clues on what's going on? Well, have you cleaned your bobbin case and rethreaded your machine by any chance? And also change your needle. See if what I would do is rethread the machine, make sure you clean out the bobbin case, make sure you have your bobbin in the bobbin case in the right direction. And what else was that? Oh, and change the needle and see if that doesn't fix it. And then do what Rita's talking about, check your tension dial. I don't mess with tension because I'm afraid I'll destroy my machine doing that.
Miss Joy, I apologize. I wasn't really looking at the chat. I was trying to keep track of what she's talking and all that kind of stuff. I read lips, so.
Yeah. Laura says, I'm sorry, everyone. I have to say goodnight. Cindy Surette, Laura. I just took some pain medication and it makes me sleepy, Katy. I'll let the live run, but may fall asleep because the medication makes me sleepy. Okay, sweetie. I hope that it helps with your pain. Pat says, pretty block, Katy. Rita says you'll find the thread tension dials on the top of the machine near the thread path. Turn the dial slightly counterclockwise to loosen the tension. Frank says, rest well, Laura. Miss Joyce says, thank you so much for acknowledging me. I'm a person trying to get answers. Yeah, we'll try to help as much as we can. What kind of machine do you have? Let us know. Andrea says, I totally understand, Laura. My meds cause me to take unscheduled naps. And Debus says goodnight to Laura. Okay, yeah. What kind of machine do you have?
She did say, Miss Joyce said, I have a brand new machine, also brother CS 7,000.
Oh, is that what she said it was? Miss Joy Z did? Okay, didn't see that part. I don't know
Okay.
much about the brother, so
Make sure when you're cleaning out your brother machine, I will tell you this because I have a Quattro too. Take your bobbin case, open it, make sure it's all clean. Make sure you pick up the case holder where you put your bobbin in up. Make sure there's no dust bunnies right underneath that.
wow, this is interesting. Okay, while we're waiting on her, okay, she has a brother CS7000. Okay, yeah, I don't know much about brothers.
I have a Quattro too, so that's one of the
Yeah.
suggestions.
So I would think cleaning it, rethreading it, making sure the bobbin is wound properly, all that, and then if that doesn't work, then mess with the tension.
Yeah.
She says, I found the tension was on 4. I'm turning it to 3.
Sometimes you just have to adjust it as you go.
Yeah.
Even if it still does it, I suggest to get a new bobbin and rewind another bobbin and see if somewhere in that span that you rounded up your bobbin that you could have had something loose and it wasn't spinning tight on your bobbin. Also see if you have a burr in your faceplate of your machine. Thread could be getting caught, but it really does sound like a tension.
Andrea says she needs to go make dinner. She'll catch us later. See you later. Enjoy your dinner. Carissa says also see if you have a burr in your faceplate of your machine. Thread could be getting caught up, but it really does sound like tension. And then Rita says, I learned to sew on my dad's industrial brother machines. You should see these brother machines I use in the factory, Rita. They are humongous. Frank is suggesting you check the manual and make sure that it's threaded properly. Did you guys see the block?
I love it.
Yeah, it came out good. You know what I realized? I can't turn, well, I'll show you with the phone. I need to make some more warm colored blocks because when I'm looking at these blocks, there's hardly any warm color in it. And I don't know why I have so much cool stuff. But there's going to be 48 blocks, so I have plenty of time to get some hot colors in there. All right, I'm going to pin this one up here, and then I'm going to take the phone off the thing, and I'm going to show you all these blocks so far.
Rita says my dad had 5 of them. He used them for upholstery shop he had.
That's what they use in the tannery when they're sewing sealskin.
Yeah.
They have 5 brother overlocks, and then they have, I think, 4 of the industrial brother machines, and they look like they've had them a really long time. See if Katie is paying attention. Wow, nice green and orange block. That's actually purple, turquoise, and orange yellow. All right, I'm gonna hang these up so you guys can see all the rest of them. You'll see what I mean about I seem to have a lot of cool colors in here.
And for those, you can call me Courtney or CJ. I go by either or. Whatever.
All right,
Okay,
let me take.
Rita said, hold on, Katie. Rita says, yes, I was making a joke. That failed. Ha ha ha.
Sorry, humor is not my strong. Uh-oh. Where'd it go? Okay. Unfortunately, humor and me are, I don't know. I don't get it sometimes.
I don't either. I don't get some of my husband or kids' what is the other word? Not just humor. Sarcasm.
Yeah, sarcasm. Yeah.
Yeah, I get them very well. So
Yeah. Sometimes Nikolai will tell a joke and I'm like, huh? He says, you really don't get them, do you? I'm like, no.
yeah. That is
Ignore the block or ignore the big piece on the upper left and ignore that big, huge block on the right. Look at all the smaller blocks. See how most of them are cooler colors? And I need some heat in there. We need some heat. What do you want?
to you, Mom.
What is it you want? Get off the sofa. You're not getting up there with my sewing stuff. Get down. But Mommy, I want to play. I want to play. You say hi to everybody? Nora. Nora. Anyway, now that I've made you dizzy.
Yeah, I miss my dachshund. I had a dachshund, Winnie. And she was the only girl out of 2 batches.
I have, when I moved here, I brought with me a 3/4 mini Dachshund, 1/4 terrier, and I think that she might have been the terrier might have been a Jack Russell Terrier, but she was very tiny. This dog makes for her. Each weighed around 5 pounds, I guess. This dog weighs about 24, 25 pounds, I think. And the males and the standard males can get up to 29 pounds. So they are a bigger breed.
Well, how I ended up with this dachshund, her name was Sassy. I didn't get to name her. My grandparents did. My grandparents had her mom, which was, her name was Cinderella. We called her Cindy. And then the dad lived next door, which was my godparents to my grandparents. And his name, I think Greenie or something, I can't remember. But her dad was this long.
Yeah, they're quite big to standards.
But she lasted 14 years.
Yeah, I'm thinking 15 to 17 years probably. She just turned 6 2 days ago, or 2 or 3 days ago. Rita says, I am blind, remember? Now get the joke. Yeah, okay. And Miss Joyce, wow, that's beautiful. I don't understand how to make those, but eventually I will. Yes, you will. We all started where you starting. Yes, it will come. Just enjoy the journey, relax, breathe. If you get frustrated, take a break and walk away, and then come back and try again. And if you need help, there's a bunch of us out here. We all are willing to help.
Oh yeah, like I said on my channel last night, I said, if you had a pattern and you're not understanding it and you don't know where to go, I'm willing to buy the pattern.
Yeah, we're all willing to help. Exactly.
I'll be able to help you so you guys can understand.
Yep. And then Rita said something about, I do not want a Juki. Way too much technology. Juki, oh, it depends, I guess, on which Juki, huh? I wouldn't have a Juki because they're too loud for my ears. Rita says, give yourself patience and remember to breathe. Yes. And also, I'm going to say this right now. When you first start out, and if you're watching people, if you're watching videos and they're all about perfection, please ignore that. Please ignore that. You are not making quilts to be perfect, especially in the early stages. I have yet to make a perfect quilt, and I probably never will, and that's okay with me. What you want to do is enjoy the process. Go with it and enjoy yourself, because it's supposed to be fun, not stressful.
And at that same time, if you're wanting to get your quilts longer, please know I'm one that will tell you does not need to be perfect. You can always send it to me. It will be done beautifully it back to you and you can handle it. It will be beautiful. I don't care if the quilt is crooked. I will quilt it so that you have a beautiful quilt to have.
We're all a pretty good sized community, so if you need help, just come in alive, or there's also groups. I have a group on Facebook called Greenland Quilter. There's several in this channel that has their own groups on Facebook. If you go on Facebook, you should be able to put in their quilting group or something like that, and it'll give you a list of them. You can join that. Follow a lot of the YouTuber creators who are quilters, because they have lots of tutorials that you can learn from. There's a lot of ways to learn while you're learning.
It's like, I will tell you right now, I have a Facebook group under the same name as my channel. I have a Discord with my friend Sean and Beth at Goody Goods, which is Quilters Co-op, if I can keep remembering it. We're all here to help each other.
Yep, because I remember what it was like in 2017 when I first started. I knew how to sew because I used to make all my clothes, but I knew absolutely zero about making quilts.
I was that same year. I knew how to make clothes, knew how to make pillows, knew how to make things that hang up, and then I started quilts because I was bored. I hated sitting around and watching TV.
Yep. I remember when I signed up for my first PMQ, I must have been insane, because when I started it, I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I could follow directions. That wasn't a problem, but I didn't have an understanding of just didn't have that understanding that should have been there. And when I look back, I'm like, golly, why didn't I ask questions? Because it would have saved my skin so many times. Like, here's one for you. That when you get the borders for your PMQs, they always make the borders longer. I didn't know that back then. So I go and I trim my border. And then I couldn't get it to lay like it was supposed to because I screwed with it when I should have left it alone.
Well, I'm kind of glad that they make their borders longer, because you don't know whose seam allowance is going to be shorter, whose seam allowance is wider.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though they cut with an alky quilt. You see right behind me, this machine that the fan's laying on is an alky quilt. And they cut alky quilt and hire disability people, which makes me happy.
Rita posted 16 photos in my group. Oh my gosh. I am going to be busy getting photos ready for the live. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I want everybody to participate in this, so make sure you get them photos there. We can have a great trunk show.
You still have the one I sent you.
Yep. I wish you could get it hung up straight where they can see all of its glory.
The one I sent you that you put on the thumbnail.
Yeah, that was the butterfly. I would love it if you could get a better shot of it, if possible.
Right, but I don't know.
You have to get someone to help you hang it up. Do you have a clothesline outside?
And it was kind of,
yeah.
I was trying to get it done.
Do you have a clothesline outside? There's many people without clotheslines these days. I don't have a clothesline, and I don't want to put one in because I don't want the neighbors using it. Yeah. Because that's exactly what would happen. Frank says, careful what you ask for, Katy. Hey, Nana Mona, how are you? Welcome, welcome. She's been listening and she's been here. Thank you so much. I hope everybody hit that thumbs up coming in or going out. I don't care which. It helps. I usually don't ask. I usually go say these things in other people's channels. Please hit that thumbs up like button and help the channel out.
Okay. We're here to help. I may be a small channel. I will still put you guys out there. Although my kid, it drives her nuts when I put her link in the chat.
Let's talk about the poll, you guys, because you've been here long enough for us to talk about it now. Okay, so the question was, what do you enjoy most relating to color? And I put cool colors as one answer and warm colors as the other. 46% said they like cool colors. 54% said they like warm colors. And this was out of 69 votes. So now I'm going to put another question to you. Those of you who voted for cool colors, tell me why you like cool colors better. And those of you who voted for warm colors, tell me why you like warm colors better. I would love to see your answers. So let's go. Let's hit it on the head and let's share. Let me see. Rita says they are not perfect photos, but they are there. Hey, I don't care. I just want to share y'all's work. And then Nana says, I love my clothesline. And yes, people have used it, laugh out loud. Yeah, there's clotheslines around here, but where they're at versus where my house is at, it's not, I can't bring myself to go walk away from my house to put clothes on someone else's clothesline. Just can't do it. And Rita says, all colors, okay? Frank says, okay, I'll say it. Hey, everybody, hit that thumbs up button.
Frank.
Thank you, Frank. Rita says she does not have a preference. Jody says, all I can think about is warm living in Michigan. That's a good one, Jody. Pat says, I like the feel of warm colors. They make me happy. Yeah, they make me happy too. And hi, Melissa. Welcome, welcome. Rita says, I also posted photos of two of my dogs modeling their new coats I made. Oh, I can't wait to see that. I'll look at that after the live. And then Deb says, I'm a fall baby, so I love autumn colors. So most of you know that well, some of y'all do. The newest PMQ, which starts in February, I chose Phoenix. And y'all know I love color, so that's not the problem. But I've never done a fall color quilt, number one. And number two, I don't particularly like using green in anything. So this is going to be fun doing one with green in it for a change. But I'm all for it because I get to use batiks instead. I'm a little, I don't know what's happening here, but all I want to do is sew batiks. You know that song, all I want to do is have some fun. All I want to do is sew some batiks.
I already did that with my butterfly quilt.
Yeah.
And one of the PMQs.
I want to make 100 color batik quilt. I can't hear you again.
I love batik.
I'm so in love. Oh my God, I'm so in love. You know, it's kind of like me I'm in love with icebergs. And me and Nikolai go with our friend Torben and his wife. And me and Ellie together and icebergs drive Torben crazy. Because, you know, Torben was born and raised in this country like Nikolai. So they don't have this little affinity love affair going on with icebergs. But us girls, we can never get enough. And we're like, please, Torben, stop the boat and let us take pictures. And he's like, no, I want to get where we're going, you know. No, let's not.
Well, it's like if you find something you're fascinated with that friend, you don't want to miss out having fun with them. And I don't have friends close to me. I do have my best friend slash sister. We were born 2 weeks apart, but we're not as close. We're close as we are now than we were as kids because we were raised together. But I don't do a lot of stuff with her because she's got 2 kids. I got a kid, and then it's like we gotta take the kids wherever so that they can have fun.
It's interesting that my friendship with Torben, the way it turned out, because when I first moved here, and I've been here, I guess, about a year, and I happened to stumble upon his first wife shop. She made stuff out of sealskin, but she also she made clothes and stuff too. She did all kinds of things in her little shop. And we hit it off and we became friends, but Torben was a little, I don't know, standoffish to start with. And also his English was very little, you know, at the time. And so she invited me to go off with him one time on the weekend. And I went, and the 2 or 3 times that I went off, I think I went a total of 4 or 5 times with him during that summer. And I honestly thought that Torben didn't like me at all. And this was in 2012, I was making a trip back to the US to see my new granddaughter. And Nikolai was with us on the boat, and we went fishing and hiking while he went hunting for a mountain bird. And on our way out, I had gotten where I could recognize landscape and stuff, because I had been going enough to recognize when we were going the right direction to go home. And when we were going, he made a turn somewhere, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not the way home. And I asked Nikolai, I said, this is not the way home. And he says, no, but you'll see. And all this time now, like I said, I didn't think Torben cared much for me, you know. And you know what they did? He took me to see the ice cap for the first time. And that's why we made a detour. And he knew that I knew he made a detour, but I didn't understand where we were going. And when we went to the ice cap, oh my God, that started it, because it was just like, it was about, enough that I was down at the harbor all summer long up till like 3 o'clock in the morning taking pictures of icebergs. But when he took me to see the ice cap the first time, I just was blown away. And so when I went to the United States, I left my dog left Ichi with him to babysit. When I came back, him and his wife were split up. And guess who had the dog? It wasn't her. He had Ichi. And when I went over there to see about getting Ichi, he says, he told me, he says, well, me and Hannah's broke up, blah, blah, blah. And he says, I enjoyed taking care of Ichi. And I thought, so you're not upset about having to take care of? Nope. And after they were split up, I thought that we wouldn't get to go out with him again, but he would come by and say, you want to go out with us? Let's go. And he would take me out with him sometimes. And, but this is before he got his second wife. And then when he started dating, he met a lady from Thailand, and her name is Ellie. And Ellie would come over here and spend some months here. And then we would go fishing off with her. And it ended up that they got married, and they've been married, I think, 8 or 9 years now, I think. And now we go off with them all the time. And me and Ellie are like 2 little peas in a pod, It's pretty funny with us doing what we do together.
I had a live scheduled after this one, but it's okay.
You didn't tell me.
It's okay. I changed the
How
time.
late are you?
It was gonna start at 6, but I just changed the time to 8 because I need to probably eat.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. And thank you all for subscribing, because I hit 582.
Congratulations. Oh, these guys are a great group of people. They'll come and subscribe and help you.
Because my goal next year is 1,000 if I can get.
Yep, that's the next goal. 5 or 1,000. Yeah. Why did I say 5,000? I don't know where that came from. I don't even want to think about 5,000. All right. So now that I have my block finished, I appreciate all of y'all coming, and I want Courtney to tell you one more time about her channel real quick, so that you'll know where to go if you have not subscribed yet. And again, congratulations, Courtney. So tell us about your channel again.
I am Pieces Love and Quilting. I do quilt on long arms and bordering. I do custom quilts on a very rare, t-shirt quilts, and add in some other stuff like cross stitch, embroidery, hand embroidery, and crochet on my channel. And if there's other things you want to see, please just email me out of my about section on the channel. There's an email address you can email me.
Yep. And remember, it takes a village to succeed. So all of y'all helping us and us helping you is how we all can succeed and be a really great community. And I know Courtney feels the same. We appreciate every one of you who comes and sits in our lives, who posts on our channel, who watches our other stuff. You know, all of this we appreciate so much, and we thank you for that. So for tonight, thank you for coming to the live. I hope you liked the block. I had fun making it, and I actually finished it, so I'm really proud of myself. Finally, I finished some protein, so I'm proud of that. Anyway, thank you so much. And Miss Joy says, I just subscribed. I'm like you. I'm trying to get 2,500. So we'll meet our goals together. Yes, we will. And then Crystal says, CJ, you have a live today. Wow, excited to see that one. Yeah, and I'm going to watch you, so I'll be moseying over there. I'm just going to switch laptops. And Joy says, it's a pleasure meeting you young ladies. Thank you very much for having me and sharing your craft and knowledge with me. Oh, anytime. And if you need help, holler at one of us. You can also go on to any of most of our channels. If you go to the main page and click on the About, you'll find our email there. And if you need help and you can't find which group we're in, email us. One of us will answer you. I know I will, because I answer all my emails. I never ignore an email, and I never ignore a comment either. So feel free to comment somewhere and say, hey, I need your help.
Yeah, Rita, this is what we're doing tonight.
Oh, that's so cute.
The apple.
That's gonna be fun. Shh. I hear you the first time. All right, I got to go before she starts raising the roof. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Have a great night. Remember, live, laugh, love, dream. And what do you do with all that? You make something. Bye, everyone. Hang on a minute. Okay, you still there?
Yeah.
Thank you for coming tonight. I really appreciate it.
Oh,